Streaming is on.
Good evening and welcome, Aeromodelers around the world. This is Rusty, and this is the Stunthangar Video Hangout, Monday night, March 30th, 2020. April Fool's Day coming up soon, and gosh, who knows what's going to happen on April Fool's Day this year. Boy, we got two people in already, Bob Hunt and Tom Rammel. That's what I call service. Hey, guys. And hey, Bob, I got your package in the mail.
Your birthday present?
What'd you say?
Your birthday present?
My birthday present came in the mail. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. And that's a quick service. I think that's going to be great. I'm looking forward to trying it out.
Yeah.
And
You're in good health.
Tom, yeah. Tom, good evening. What you up to, man?
Hi, Rusty.
And John's here already. Well, let me do my usual introductions. I hadn't gotten around to actually making the show official yet. So welcome, everybody. Again, this is Rusty. The Stunthangar Hangouts will be on the air until about midnight or later, depending on when the diehards start face planting on their keyboards. And we'll do the best we can that way. Hopefully, we'll have good conversations. The links are in the usual places on stunthangar.com. If you go to the main forum page and scroll down, do not go in the open forum. Scroll down until you see the thread, the forum section called live streams. The first post in there is called At the Bench, and the link to tonight's show is in the At the Bench thread with today's date and the title. And that's all you got to do. You got to be a member of Stunthangar. You got to be logged into the forums and come in and visit us with a camera and a microphone. If you would rather watch in anonymity and still see us live, you can go to YouTube. The Stunthangar channel is on YouTube, and you can watch us there. And there's a text chat box that you can use to type and communicate with us, and we'll try to incorporate what you type, whether it's opinions or questions or helpful advice, whatever you bring to the party. We'll try to incorporate it into our show here, and keep it family friendly. Don't say anything you wouldn't say with your young kid sitting in the room next to you, and we'll get along fine. So, and this is the place where no news is good news. So, all right, carry on. We got Bob, we got Tom, we got John, and we got Big D, Dave. I'm not sure who Dave is, but we'll find out in a minute. All right, people. So did y'all have a good weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sequestered.
Sitting home.
It hit 90 degrees for the first time here.
Wow.
90 degrees. Wow.
90 degrees. Yeah, they had a pizza birthday party for my sister and myself out in the backyard yesterday. 90 degrees and pizza.
Wow.
And a birthday party. So that's pretty good. Her birthday's the day after mine, although she's 3 years younger. But and so we always celebrate it together, and that makes for good fun. It's not exactly what you call social isolation, but the hell with it now and then. We do the best we can.
The lake is still frozen where I live, and I wouldn't go out on the ice right now, but it's still frozen solid.
So it's not 90 degrees where you are.
No, it's not. It got up to I think almost 50 today. So
well, it's getting there.
I think it'll be gone sometime in April.
Yeah.
Early April.
Well, what about the nighttime temperatures? How cold is it still getting at night?
It gets down to 30, about 30 at night.
Where are you located?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah, we got a couple of Minnesotans in here. I forget who our other Minnesotan is, but he's I think more southern Minnesota than you are. Where's Bill from? Do you remember?
Yeah, he's from Winona, Minnesota.
Okay.
Can't
That's
get
probably
much further south.
That's a couple hours from me, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more than 2 hours from me.
Let's see. Let me run down our YouTube list here. Bob Bishop's out there, Jack Snavely, and Top Brent from Ogden, and that's Brent Williams. And Bob Bishop's out there. Bob always drops in. He wants to know when my birthday was. Bob, it was actually last Wednesday, but I postponed the celebratory activities until this weekend because Bob's present hadn't gotten here yet. And when it came, we ordered pizza, commenced the party. And hey, Danny.
Howdy.
So I have a question for you guys. About maybe, I guess 40 years ago, I acquired a control line airplane. I didn't build it. And I always thought it was a Nobler, but after doing some work on it over the weekend and looking at Nobler plans, I realized it's not a Nobler. So I'm going to show it to you guys, and you guys can tell me what it is.
Okay.
Well, there's a school of thought out there. There's a school of thought that everything's a Nobler.
Yeah.
And they all have.
It's not a Nobler, it's a modified Nobler, right? Actually, it looks like a smoothie.
A smoothie?
Yeah.
Smoothie.
Okay.
Yep. That's a smoothie.
The original smoothie had the cylinder on the engine pointed up, and later on they produced somebody redesigned it with the cylinder pointed down. Am I right about that?
You can build them either way, actually, out of the kit.
Yeah. Or you can do what Robinson did and put a Kodak film canister in it and screw a glow plug into the top of it and make it look like it's got a cylinder pointed straight up.
Look like hardcore and put a little wire up there, make it look like it's running on ignition.
A sparker, yeah, that's right.
Get rid of the head altogether and put an electric motor in it.
Well, you got an electric motor in it, but the idea is make it look. Of course, then you got to put a sound generator in there and a speaker on it.
Sounds like too much work.
Nah, the flyer just goes. That's all.
Well, you just put you take a clothespin and a playing card, and you put it on the prop, and then
that's it.
Or a balloon.
Well, I was wondering who our guest is. It's Mike Linsky. That's Mike. Yeah, Mike, you need to go to your profile.
Hey guys, I gotta go take my dog out. I'll be right back.
All right.
Hi, Denny.
Hey, John, how you doing?
All right. Had one of those problems today that we get every once in a while when we're running CAD. CAD program quit while I was in the midst of something, and I hadn't changed hadn't done a save for about 45 minutes. And I'm trying to find out in draft site how to, because I have it backing up every 10 minutes. I have it do an auto save. I can't figure out how to get the autosave file back in and bring it back in as a drawing.
There is a way to do that, and I forget how it is. I actually got into that once. And then also, did you try opening the back file, the dot back? Sometimes that'll do it.
Don't have a dot back. I wasn't making dot backs. So,
okay, so I thought I made those automatically while you were doing it too. So
no, you can choose whether it does that or not.
Okay. Well, if they're there, they'd be right in the folder with the mean. So, all right.
Yeah.
Office applications always make a .bak file, and I missed what software y'all were talking about.
Draft site.
Draft site.
The CAD program that John and I both use. So we can share some experience with it, but not a lot.
Well, if you find out anything, drop me a line.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. There was a way. Oh, crap. I forgot. I actually found it kind of by accident too. But it's an odd it's you may be able to get it back. But
Well, I spent more time looking, trying to figure out how to do it than it would have taken me to redo everything,
to
get
just
caught
do
back
it.
up where I was.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean there too. Okay.
And what do you think about Bob may have the only contest going on out on the east coast this year?
Well, all I can say is it's still there ain't nothing locked down right now, but he's got the best chance I've seen of anybody. So
Yeah, out
I
here in
get
the west, out here in the west, where we've got the Las Vegas Challenge, Stunt Challenge. That's in November. So
yeah, that sounds like a really neat thing. There's some neat contests. I thought where he's one of those bucket list things. I'd like to go around and go to some of the big regional contests all over the country. Things like the Northwest Regionals or the what was it, the Golden States Championships, and of course,
yeah,
I've never been to VSC yet. Always wanted to make the King Orange, and then the one you just mentioned, Las Vegas, would be good. Bob's contest is going to be a classic. Probably already is really, but I think it'd be fun
oh
to do
yeah,
that kind of thing. So.
Danny, when you were
yeah,
talking about going to Florida to watch the baseball, preseason baseball, I was thinking of one of my friends who just died recently. He was a college umpire and a longtime baseball fan, and he and my group of buddies from the stadium were collectively trying to make the tour all the way around the country and get to most of the big parks. I
Yep.
haven't done so well myself. I've been to Atlanta, but not the new stadium. I went to Turner Field several times, and I've been to Wrigley Field in Chicago before the lights were up, and
Oh wow.
watching everybody sitting on top of their apartments watching
Yeah.
the ball game was fun. And my chair was the seat that my ticket had a post right in, 3 feet in front of me. So I went
That's
up and
it.
stood in the standing room only.
Yeah, that would have been Tiger. The old Tiger Stadium was built that way. It was the fabulous place to watch a ball game, but invariably, man, there were obstructed view seats all over that park. And the new park isn't like that, or certainly not
Yeah.
as bad. But
When I was at Wrigley, I watched Ryan Sandberg's last game before his supposed retirement, and then after that, he spoiled it by coming back and playing another season or two.
Oh
I can't say I saw his last game. So
that's it. Well, he got to they got to sell a few more tickets on that one.
yeah,
My God,
I guess
Mike,
so.
are you opening up a Jetco kit? All right.
Super Flight.
Yeah, Thermic 18, Thermic 20. All right.
20. Yeah, I
There
figured
you
I'd
go.
go ahead and cut them out while we're sitting here and just kind of piddle while I'm listening.
Let me remind you guys now, I can't make the picture big for everybody, but you can manually do it if you just click on their small picture. And if you're on a big enough system with a big enough screen, I keep it on the tile view. I've learned recently that I like it better that way instead of with the little film strip in each one of you with the big picture in the middle of who's talking. So anyway, just a public service announcement. Hey, Gary. Gary
Hi.
Sinclair joined us.
Yeah.
How you doing tonight?
Pretty good. How are you?
Glad to have you. Good.
Glad to be here.
Hello, people.
Hey, Gerald. Top of the morning.
Gerald. How you doing?
Good
morning, buddy. Or good afternoon, I guess.
And hi, Gerald.
Got a little bit of time to pop online and say hello. I heard the other day. Oh, thanks for having me. I heard Sparky mention did I know Bruce Simpson? And I've heard of Bruce Simpson. I don't know him personally, but the best thing I could say is if Sparky wants to know more about Bruce Simpson is search him on the internet, because he's very famous as a internet modeling celebrity. So if Sparky's in and I'm not here, then I can say I know of Bruce Simpson, but
well, you're
he's very famous for his.
You're an internet modeling celebrity now.
Yeah, New Zealand's home to several. New Zealand's home to more than just a couple of modeling celebrities, because y'all got one of the top pulse jet guys down there, don't you? I remember Mike Lunke telling us something about him.
Yeah, there are a few real key modeling personalities here, like Robinson and Robert Bolton and Don Robinson and Brendan Robinson. They're all quite keen on the pulse jets, and it's very infectious, I have to say. It drives everybody wanting to try it. And I have to build something out on that day. I have to pull up.
That Bruce Simpson guy, the X-Jet guy, right?
All right.
So I've got to join the crowd. I've got a New Zealander. I've got to have my pulse jet, and with Mike Lonke's inspiration.
Is it a Tiger Jet?
I think it's a Tiger Jet. It's one of the Japanese ones.
Yeah, it's a small one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
So I don't know much about them, but we enjoyed watching them fly the other week when we flew at Whangarei. They had like a stunt meeting, and in the middle of the day they pulled out all these pulse jets and started flying them, and it was very inspiring. And Otto was saying, we've got to do it, Dad. We've just got to give it a go. So we were inspired to order one off eBay.
Just remember, Gerald, it's really hard to get your finger in there and flip that little prop.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, I said priming's no
You
fun
gotta blow
either.
into it. You gotta hold it up and blow into it.
That's it.
There are so many things going down now. We're seeing to have more modelling time now. Even if we don't have as much flying time, we've got more time to do modelling anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Simpson's famous for his powered cruise missile thing, and that led to a whole lot of controversy. But that was something that all these New Zealanders seem to enjoy their pulse jets when they've been in the hobby for a while. So having seen and heard about some of Mike's exploits with the scale pulse jets from his father, we actually bid on a 15 pulse jet similar to the F-80 Sabre. It was one of these Japanese kits. We lost the auction, but it wasn't complete, so we thought we'll try something similar anyway. We'll give that a go.
Yeah, which one was you bidding on? Sabre, the aluminum one?
Yeah, the aluminum MiG-15. It was a Japanese kit. I can't remember the name of the manufacturer, but they were a small kit. It had an aluminium body or aluminum body and wings and tail, but the kit that was on eBay, the wings were missing, the tail was missing, the plan was missing. You basically just got the fuselage. It was a good start, but if we can make something
has that MiG-15, and it's made for that OS jet, for the Tiger jet that you have. It's for the smaller Tiger jet.
So is the Tiger jet about the same size as the OS jet then?
No, the OS jet and the Dynajet are the same size, and virtually same size pipe.
Okay, I thought the OS was smaller. Okay, all right.
No, the OS is the OS pipe is about 3/4 of an inch smaller than a Dynajet pipe, but the head and the threads are the same. The heads from OS jets are interchangeable with Dynajets. Tiger Jet has a smaller diameter and smaller length. I think it's about 2.5 pound, maybe 3 pound pulse jet. The Tiger Jet is, and the OS and the Dynajet will put out like 5 pounds. So they're considerably stronger.
Yeah, so it's like a training motor, and I think a good way to start maybe.
Yeah.
I suppose the problem will be parts, though. I imagine the pedals will be different to a Dynajet. All the working componentry will be different.
Yeah, you mentioned Bruce Simpson earlier. He's the X-Jet guy on YouTube, right, Gerald?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you go way back in his videos, because he's a big pulse jet guy too, and if you go back in his videos, he's got a really nice tutorial on how to acid etch spring steel, stainless steel, and make your own reeds. You can do a whole sheet by acid etching them in a solution. If you can't find reeds for that Tiger Jet, because they are smaller than the OS and the Dynajet, so you may end up having to make your own. Find a supply of reeds for that. But Bruce Simpson has a really cool video on how you can make those yourself.
Thanks, Mike.
Steve, is your daughter doing
we're
better?
coming on.
What?
Is your daughter doing better?
Her fever broke today.
Yay.
Oh, that's great news.
Good.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
Good.
yeah, it's down under 100. So she's feeling a lot better. Now her roommate's really sick, but you know,
There you go.
so. But yeah, she's about a week behind Samantha, so hopefully she'll get over it here pretty quick. And
We've been praying for her.
I think, yeah,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I apologize for Friday. I shouldn't even got on. I was so upset about the whole thing and stuff, and you know, I thought I'd get on and get my mind off of shit, and it didn't work.
That's right, Steve. Everybody needs somebody to vent to, you know, and we try to keep it news free here, but you know, if you got to vent, sometimes you got to vent. No harm, no foul.
Yeah,
I got, you know, I've got a great friend that's got it. I've got some a family member that I know have been exposed. So, you know, it's a lot to think about.
Well, I didn't want to let my mom know because she is such a worrywart, and she'd be just driving us nuts. But I finally told her today, now that Samantha's fever broke, and it's been 2 weeks today since she first got symptoms. So, you know, they're saying 2 weeks. I don't know. I guess there's a time clock on this damn thing or something, but you know. But yeah, so hopefully none of us will get it, and you know, I can't swear she does because she can't get a test, but yeah,
Well, hopefully we'll get it all behind us. Hopefully we'll be better for it, and we'll be more ready when the next kind of thing happens, because it will.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was going to ask John how was any update on his wife, or
Oh, thanks, Steve, for asking. She took her first infusion Friday, and it'll be about, they said it'll be a month to a month and a half before we'll know whether it's working or not. But she takes it once a week.
well, that's good. I don't know. Did I say anything about Dick?
Dick Imhoff?
Yeah.
What about him?
He's cancer free so far in his colon right now. He went through all of his chemo, and then he was going to have radiation, and they went in to measure him or something. I guess they put you on a table and figure out where they set everything, and they couldn't find it. So they sent him out for a PET scan, and the PET scan came back. There is no cancer there anymore.
How good is that?
Outstanding.
That's good.
Yeah, and his liver, he still has 2 spots there, but they're smaller. So they're not going to, they were going to operate and take part of his liver out. But now I guess they're just going to put some seeds in there because what's left is so small.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, everything's looking pretty good. Said he's eating and putting a little bit of weight back on. But yeah, so
that's good.
He wants to go flying, so he must be feeling a lot better.
If he wants to go flying in March, he's crazy. So.
We were gonna go Saturday, but the damn wind was blowing so hard.
Boy, you ain't kidding. You got that too, right?
Oh man,
it's
it
been
was
blowing us away the last
too.
3 days.
Because they said it was going to be like 50 degrees, and we're like, hell, we can go out and get a couple flights in anyway. We'll just stay apart from each other, you know, and stuff like that. And we got the Stooge, and so you can start your own airplane and go out there and fly it. But yeah, it was too windy. So
well, we did fly Saturday, or Sunday. Yesterday, Sam and I did go fly, and it was gusting 17, but that didn't stop us. We flew that little combat plane that Samantha had that you gave to us, Steve. With that engine 15, we ran that on a bladder. Flew that a few times. I flew my socket to me 46 a couple of times. I got through the pattern once, but then I stopped because it was just so windy. I was going to ball it up. And then Sammy flew his rugged stunt trainer. He put up about 5 flights on that. And I just wound it up like a combat plane. I leaned the motor out and he flew it like a speed limit plane. So the wind wasn't an issue for him with that. And then the prototype Brodak Cardinal that you gave us, Steve, we did get 3 flights on that. I put up 1 flight on it. Had to change the prop because the prop wasn't right. It was bogging down. Then I put another flight on it, and I flew about half a pattern with it. It flies pretty damn good for a 25 size, full-bodied, Cardinal.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And Sam went to fly it. And when I launched him, of course, the wind came up and it turned in on him and it zipped across the circle. Luckily, it never got more than like 10 inches off the ground. And all it did was break the prop and tear the gear off it when it caught. So it's not destroy all it. The plate that the gear goes on, it just broke right out of the bottom of the fuse. So easy fix. But I don't know. Let me show that.
Yeah, you're better off. You should have just ripped that off and strengthened it to begin with.
Yeah. So this is.
Well, sometimes it's good to have sacrificial landing gear.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of you haven't seen this. This was a prototype of Cardinal 25 size, Brodak 25 full body. And Dennis, I think you said there was only 3 of these built, right? And you have 1 of them.
Yeah, I got Bob Zambelli's original, model, and then they made plans from that, sent it to China, and the Chinese built 2 Earth prototypes, as I understand. You got 1, I guess. I don't know where the other one is, but
Vince has it. Vince Brody.
Vince, okay.
That's who I got. That's who I bought that from was Vince.
Okay.
This never did have a cowl with it, and I did not bother to build one. I just figured we'll fly it the way it is.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be pretty good. We get the right prop on it and fly it on a no-wind day. I think Sam will be pretty successful with this.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, you can make a cowl for it. That's what I was gonna do. It looked like somebody tried to make one out of a milk jug. Is what kind of plastic it was. It was all warped and it wouldn't fit on there. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna make one out of wood. Then I never finished it, or did anything with it. But yeah, I'm glad that but it looks straight. I mean, the wing was straight and everything was.
It is.
The tail was put in straight and everything like that. So I figured it would fly okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
Dave,
fine.
what you working on so hard up there? I got to turn his microphone on.
Oh, I'm building this. It's a timer. Where is it? Timer for an electric airplane. I build those. I'm soldering up a couple boards tonight for a couple club members.
Hey, Bob.
You're converting them all to electric, are you?
No, we fly. It's cold here, so we fly indoors in the winter time. And when I was in the Czech Republic a few years ago, I saw those guys flying indoors with electric, and they had a regulator on their airplanes. It was really cool. So I've been trying to design and build that same kind of regulator, and I think I got it working pretty good now. We've got to build up a few boards for testing. It's got a little where is it? A little accelerometer on it, and I can increase the speed when the nose comes up, and when the nose goes down, the speed drops off. Or if I turn a hard corner, it'll add speed to the and it works pretty good. The response time's fast enough, so I just can't wait to try it. We might have to fly outside though. Our school site is all locked down now because of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't
Can
be
you
in there.
tell me how does that accelerometer work? Is it got a mechanical in it that bends depending on whether the plane's accelerating in one direction or another?
It's got it's one of these MEMS parts, so it's got a accelerometer and a gyroscope and a compass and a thermometer in it, and that little board costs me $4, so they're not expensive. But it's what they call a MEMS device, so it does both acceleration and angular position, and it's just that one little chip. One little chip right there.
Device.
Yep. They work really well.
Cell phones all.
Yeah, they got them
our
in every
cell
cell
phones
phone.
all have something
Every
like
cell
that.
phone, every game controller, even your laptops. If you drop your laptop, they'll park the disk drive's head before it hits the ground. So they have to use stuff like that in them. That's why they're so cheap. But yeah, that module is $4. I can't believe how cheap that was.
Wow.
Cool.
Where'd you get it?
That off of Amazon. But you can get them anywhere. It's called a 60 MPU 6050. They're everywhere. They're not. You can get them from any of the electronic suppliers or Amazon. I just got it from Amazon. They were as cheap as anybody was.
Dave, you from Indiana?
Milwaukee.
Oh, I see you got that Notre Dame shirt on.
I put 2 kids through there, so I get to wear the T-shirt. I get to wear a sweatshirt.
Two kids.
I think you can justify that.
I got a little story about Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Guys that I worked with were really big Notre Dame fans. And so the one guy says to another guy there at Notre Dame, says, "There's no bigger fan than me." And this guy said, "Well, I don't know about that." He says, I grew up and I met Newt Rockne and stuff. And he said, my dad was, he first said, he goes, "You ever heard of the Four Horsemen?" And then like everybody's heard of the Four Horsemen. He goes, "How about the Five Mules?" What? He says, "My dad was one of the Five Mules." And they're like, "Oh, bullshit." And he's like, "I'll bring a picture in." So he brings this picture in of the 5 of them. And the other guy there says, "You realize there is no other picture than that one." He goes, "I've been reading on that. They've been looking for it for so many years." So he actually called Notre Dame and they said, "Yeah, we want, we don't have, that's the only picture we don't have and stuff." So his family donated it to Notre Dame. So now it's back at Notre Dame.
This is not a
There's a
joke.
lot of like.
This is actually real.
That was a true story. Yeah.
We're working
I
on.
was waiting for a
We're waiting
punchline.
for the punchline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting for a punchline.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I know that. That's why I said it was a story. But it wasn't me.
Yeah, there was both my kids went down there and studied engineering, and one is just getting his PhD this year, and it was a good deal for them. It really was. They grew up a lot down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
I just
Good
thought
for you, Dad.
I just thought that was funny that they were arguing about it and they found a picture that they were looking for what, 80, 90 years. I don't know however long that's been since Newt was there. But yeah, they got it back. He got with his brothers and sisters and they said, "Okay, we'll donate it to Notre Dame." But
So here's another story like that is my kid was on campus playing volleyball, and just outside, fooling around outside the dorm, and he dove to knock a ball down that was going in the road, and because there was a car coming, and this guy gets out and says, "Kid, are you okay? Are you okay?" It was Digger Phelps, the basketball coach, and he goes, "That's the kind of hustle we want to see out of you undergrads. Way to go!" And just like he goes, "I got clowned by Digger Phelps in person." So it's kind of a cool little place if you I mean, I never would have been able to go there, but I'm happy that they got a chance.
That's cool. All right, Bob. Now a question for you.
Yeah.
On the well, I got a couple of them, but on the lost foam wing you made me with the narrower spacings in the rib.
Uh-huh.
On the landing gear, should I use 3 ribs instead of 2?
Well, it depends on how long you want your landing gear torsion arm to be. If it needs to be longer, you may have to span 3 ribs.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't know if that made it stronger, less strong.
Well, yeah, I'm getting more purchase on the ribs, especially if you put the plywood, double around the rib. Yeah, sure, you're going to get more strength out of it. Mm-hmm.
All right. The other thing is that when you get a chance, I don't know if you have it, I want to buy the Lost Foam DVD.
I'll write it down right now. Matter of fact, I just sold one this afternoon.
Yeah, I know you're going to send it to me, but I'd just rather have the DVD, and I'll buy it right from you. And then I wanted to get that perfect alignment one too.
I don't have that. That's actually one I did with Bob Knoll, and I gave him the rights to all those after a while. We sold a whole bunch of them, and then I just gave him the rights to that. But I can put you in touch with Bob Knoll, and you can get that.
Oh, okay.
But actually, that's for RC pattern airplanes. Is that what you want it for?
No, I thought that would be, you could use it with control line or whatever.
Yeah, sure. Any alignment techniques are good alignment techniques, better than none at all. But I think there's other ways of doing it. I have a video that shows how I do it for control line, and it's a little easier and I think a little bit more adaptable to what we're doing.
Yeah, get that one. Didn't you have something too about how to cut that for your wing? How you make that plug or whatever?
Yeah, whatever. That's the key to the alignment that I use. I don't even have to align my airplanes. I don't even check the alignment when I put them together because the system I use guarantees alignment. And I don't know if everybody wants to hear it here or not, but I'll go through it if you want me to.
Go through it.
Well, I want that video that shows all that with that.
Yeah, well, basically what it is that it dawned to me. I'm always one that likes to get the tooling that falls out of the construction process. And in this case, it dawned on me that the shape of the fuselage side, where the wing passes through the fuselage side, it's not the center of the wing. There's, especially in a tapered wing, it tapers in both plan form and thickness, so it's going to be both narrower in chord and less in thickness. It's going to be thinner, top to bottom, and it'll be a different shape. So how do you gain that shape? Well, it dawned on me that if I'm using a foam wing, I just cut an extra panel that's the exact same shape as the panels I'm using on the actual wing. And then I cover it with the same thickness sheeting that I'm going to use on the actual wing and sand it about the same amount. And then I measure out from the center to where the fuselage side will pass over the wing. And I mark that and I put it in the cradle and I cut it in a bandsaw. And now I have an exact plug gauge, the exact shape of the wing where it passes through the fuselage side. And I mean within like 0.005 of an inch or less. And you put a center line on that, and then you use that to when you set up you lay out your fuse sides. And when you cut them out, you also use that as a plug gauge to make sure it just fits in that opening. And I do another one out near the tip. Same thing. I cover out near the tip, make another plug gauge, and I can make little tip plates, more or less like an I-beam wing. So when you assemble the airplane inverted on your bench, the wing fits into that slot. It can't be anything but perfect. And if you put those tip plates on, they can't be anything but perfect. The center line from the center of the wing to the tabletop at both tip plates and at the fuselage sides are the same. So if you have a flat bench and everything hits the flat bench, the plates, it can't be anything but perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you're making a lost foam wing, I always set a rib up. I always lay out a rib that's going to be where the fuselage side will pass over the wing. And then you make an extra rib in the lost foam setup, cover that with the same thickness sheeting you're going to use on the wing, and that becomes your plug gauge.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
A little bit hard to explain in words, but if you wait just a minute, I'll go get example and bring it up.
Yeah, I'm going to be here for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. It's interesting. I do something very similar when I draw it on the computer using the CompuFoil. I just set it up, call out for a rib right where the fuselage juncture is, the wing and fuselage juncture. And that way, I've got the exact shape for that cutout for the rib and the fuselage, or for the wing and the fuselage. Because like Bob says, he's absolutely right. The chord is just a little bit smaller. Everything is just a little bit different at that first station up. And if you don't make allowances for it, you've got to shim it up. If you make it the same size as your root rib, the one that's inside the airplane, and then you got to shim it out, and air can creep in on that. You can get it shimmed a little bit too much on one side or the other. No, I like what he's done here. Using the setup similar to an I-beam wing guarantees that your wing is in there straight, and it's a good idea.
Well, this is like the first airplane I'm going to completely do scratch built. So I kind of want to get that, the hole in the fuselage. What I always did, and I guess it's the opposite of what Bob did. I made that hole just a little bit bigger, and then I made jigs up to hold the wing across, and then put it in the fuselage and got it all in there, and still had the jigging for the wing. And then I took and smeared not easy. Is it easy? Something fill, that blue stuff.
Oh yeah,
Superfill.
Superfill. I then take superfill and go around that opening, and then have everything, held in place, and the wing kind of floating in there. And then superfill. And once that hardened, then I could take it out, and the wing wouldn't move. So I did it kind of different, but it'd be nice to know you had it perfect. That was my problem. Was when I first put it in there, it wasn't right, and I was twisting on it. And I'm like, this ain't gonna work. So I opened the hole up bigger, so nothing touched, and then lined up the wing, and then glued, the fillets kind of deal in there to align everything. But it was a real pain in the ass, but I got it to work.
Well, Steve, welcome to scratch building. You'll like it. Eventually, you'll like it so much you probably won't want to build any other way.
Yeah, I hope so.
I don't know. I've been spoiled by laser cut kits.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
I'm too damn lazy anymore. I've been absolutely.
Yeah, but Denny, scratch building. You and I are really the ultimate scratch builders. We start with a blank piece of paper. But once you got the drawing done, you can get parts laser cut. That's easy.
Well, that's the ultimate plan right now. My alleged scratch builds are going to be basically kit number 1 is what it amounts to. So,
well, my whole thinking is that with this wing, and I'll build it stuff. If I like it, then I'm going to send all the stations in that for that lost foam, and I'm going to have everything cut. Have them draw it, cut it. Then I'll use my lost foam jig to put it together. But I'm going to have them cut the damn ribs and everything, the fuselage sides, as a generic or whatever, and I can put the tail on or whatever what I want. But Yeah, I'm trying to get away from the work because I love a laser built kit too. I mean, them vectors, them damn things go together perfect, and it's like, what? I want to build something besides a vector.
Well, that's
It's
that's
true.
why you stretch build.
Laser cutting is spoiling us all.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not that when you got the right tools, the right setup, cutting your parts right, yourself is not that bad a deal. That little that little German twin stunner that I built, it took me less than 2 hours to hand cut every piece in there. But I used my pattern sheets off my computer. I have them all set out. They're actually what the laser cut files. They're laid out like they're on a piece of balsa wood, and you just it tells you what size balsa wood it's already sized, and I just lay the wood out on my table, and I just stand back with some 3M and I just spray it over it just real quick, let it fall down on it. That's all that's tack that I need. And then you can go in there and you can cut it out with a bandsaw and then finish it up with a table rotary sander.
Yeah.
And like I say, it doesn't take any time at all. It's I'm sure you can do the same thing with the lost, or not losses, with the with Bob's setup, because you're going to draw those ribs on your wood. You cut it out and do it the same way. But
you got to remember, John,
anyway,
I can screw up a laser cut kit.
Does this count as scratch building? Tracing out temp onto balsa and cutting them out as sheet? Does that count as scratch building?
Yep.
That's how the old Jetcos are. It didn't even have print wood in it, for Christ's sake.
Yep. All right, looks like Bob's back.
Yep, Bob's ready.
All right, here's just an example. This is a section of a foam wing. I made a dummy foam wing panel. This is for my crossfire, right?
Yeah.
And this is the distance out from the center line of the wing to where the wing passes through the fuselage here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you make the center line on that, and you make a center line down from the top of your fuselage, and then you cut out lay it out and cut it out. And this is what you get here.
All right.
Oh, okay. Yep.
All right.
It's dead nuts. I mean, it's around the perimeter of the wing, it's right on the money. So now when you drop your wing in place, it can't be any place but centered. And if you do additional ones out by the tip plates, it holds the wing in 4 places upside down on your fuselage. Well, here's an actual crutch for the new Crossfire right here. And I'll put this in from the far side and you can see it. Let me get that fit in there. Oh, I can't put it. Well, yeah, okay, hold on a second. The press fit's right in there. I mean, it's an absolute press fit. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
wow,
it's an absolute press fit in there. There's no gap. There's no sanding required, and there's no shimming required. It fits perfect every time.
Now, do you
don't have to worry about if you put.
Are them bulkheads in where that thing's at there? Are they just tacked in, or
the bulkheads? No, they're glued in.
So how do you cut them afterwards, or you cut them out?
Well, I use saddles. I don't try to slip the wing in. I actually cut a diagonal here, and out of here on both sides, and pull a saddle out, and then I trim out the bulkheads and stick the wing in place, and then put the saddle back in place.
Oh, okay.
In every case, the saddle fits back in perfectly and lines up with the rest of the fuselage because it can't do anything else.
Yeah.
And again, if you're not using a foam wing, a foam plug, if you're using a built-up wing and you lay out one of the ribs directly under where the fuselage will pass over the wing, you just make an extra rib in the lost foam system, cover it with the same thickness sheeting, just like this is. It's going to be on the wing, and it serves as your plug.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it works perfect. I've been doing it this way since 1990.
Wow.
Yeah, get them sent off to me, and I'll mail you a check out.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'll try to get it to you soon enough so that you'll actually remember what the money's coming in for.
Yeah, I forgot last time you went over. You could have got away with that,
Hey, Bob, I have a question.
Yeah.
Because you have such a good fit, what kind of cement or glue do you use to glue the wing in?
I tack the wing with some CA just in places, and then I actually make up a slurry of 30-minute epoxy and micro balloons, and I make up a little 3/32 inch radius tool, and I just lay a fillet in inside and out around the wing perimeter.
All right.
It works fine.
Thanks, Bob.
No problem, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I can show you how it
It's
goes.
always good.
If you could talk me through how to put something up on screen again. I forgot how to do that. I got some pictures that show that system all lined up with a wing in place. So what do I do?
Okay. If you will mouse down to the lower left corner of your main screen.
Mm-hmm. Share your screen.
Some little icons should pop up, and one of them looks like a computer monitor, and of course it's not happening on mine as I'm trying to do it.
Share your screen.
And
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes share your screen.
Yep, click on that.
Okay. Now what?
And now a dialog box will pop up, and somebody that can get theirs to pop up, tell him what he's
Okay, at that point, Bob, you're
the
going
dialog
to
is
see
going to pop
something.
up and allow you
Application window, your entire screen. What do
Yeah,
I
just click on basically in the middle of
You know
that.
what?
middle of what? The box?
Yeah, what you're seeing there.
I guess before you,
Oh wow.
I guess if you've already got the pictures or the folder open in the background.
All right, now you're doing fine actually. Now click on the picture you want to put up.
Well, I don't know where. What do you mean? Click on the picture?
Oh, you don't have that handy?
Oh man, it's coming. Oh, I'm gonna have to. It's just going into infinity here. So.
Yeah. Okay. You better shut it down. Find your picture, and then we'll try again in a few
How do I
minutes.
shut that down? Just go to the bottom and shut that off.
Yeah. Stop sharing.
Okay.
Yeah, I should.
Okay, let me do that again now. Okay, I got the share screen. All right, now what do I do again?
You got to get your picture up first.
Do you have your picture handy?
No.
All right, get your picture open and have it just have the icon at the bottom of the screen.
All right,
you know what I mean?
I got to minimize this so I can get to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say you go search for your picture a little bit, and I don't know how long it'll take.
I got the idea. Hold on a second. My book.
Yeah, sorry.
You got to bear with me. I got about 14 million photographs here, so, and that's an exaggeration on the low side.
I say when I go to pull up a picture, it's like give me a half an hour here till I find it. So,
yeah,
even though I know where it's at. So.
All right. Well, here's. Is that showing?
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
No, you've stopped screen sharing. So once you get the picture up, leave it up, and then go back to your
yeah, I got it. Now,
video window.
Screen. Now don't go to what, your entire screen or?
Yeah.
Okay. Ah, crap.
I only see some stuff though.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm a slow learner, guys. Give me a minute here.
Okay, well, after you go do the share your screen, and then down below you get the little box to that lights up that says share.
Uh-huh.
You click on that, and whatever's on your screen is going to be on our screen. So after you do that, go and click on your picture again, and if that's full screen on your computer, it'll be full screen for us too.
Okay. All right, let me just move this over back down to. Oh, man. I'm having a hard time here. Well, I thought I had it there. Yeah.
You gotta make that full screen, Bob. For you. For,
All right, now that's
Step one is
that's
step one's always
You're doing
open your
good.
picture.
It'll come.
There.
I got the
happen.
picture up full screen, but now I don't.
Now you have to go back to the 8x8 thing.
Yeah.
And go through the share screen thing like you were doing before.
All right, and now I don't see the picture I had up.
Well, it should be down at the bottom. You got an icon at the bottom of the screen?
No.
All right, hit the minus.
Minimize your picture.
Minimize the Jitsi screen, and then I think what's happening is you're literally going full screen and it's covering up all your icons.
Yeah. All right, let me go back and see if I can find that thing again.
All right.
This may not be worth it, guys. You know.
We like to see you
If I
struggle.
hadn't if I hadn't messed you up the first time, I think we would have gotten it, but I forgot to tell you to open the picture first.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Is that showing?
yeah.
Yay!
All right.
That
Hey!
is
Been
fantastic.
teaching old dog new tricks.
Now that piece of foam is incredibly accurately cut 6-inch block of 2-pound foam. That's my layout board, and there's probably been 50 airplanes assembled on that board.
Wow.
That looks good.
So you see the little tip plates; they're made the same
Yeah.
way. You know, you cut a piece towards the end of that dummy panel that's covered with 16th, and you make your dummy plates your plates that go out there to support the tips. And from the center line of those to the tabletop is the same as the center line of the wing at the fuselage to the tabletop. Now you got 4 places where the wing is being supported absolutely perfectly above the, parallel to the center line of the wing is parallel to the top of the foam, and it fits into the fuselage opening perfectly. It can't be misaligned.
Yeah.
The way
so
you
the
got
only
the
thing-
weights
Yeah,
on
yeah.
there, Bob, is important.
What's that?
The way you have the weights distributed is important.
No, not critically important, but they just hold it in place while I put the saddle in place and glue everything up. And if you can look at that saddle fits in perfectly too. So
Yeah. But if you don't have the weights and there's any anyway, I just think the weights are needed there.
They hold everything, so it can't move. That airplane, by the way, John, is the Caprice I flew at VSC for so many years. That's that airplane.
Oh, really?
Yeah, being constructed. That's probably taken around 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's great.
yeah. Anyway,
Amazing.
now that I know how to do this, I might be able
So is
to.
that carbon veil that's covering that wing?
I can probably find a reverse angle of that.
Is that carbon veil on the wing?
I'm sorry. Say again.
Is that carbon veil
Carbon
that's covering
veil.
the
Yeah,
wing?
that was carbon veil
Yeah.
on there. Yeah. Let me see if I can do this again. I don't know if I can or not.
Actually, once you get to screen sharing, you could if the pictures are all in sequence, you can just start walking through the pictures one at a time.
Okay, here we
You
go.
can do that.
Yeah.
There we
Like
go.
a
Doors open,
slideshow.
you can just clear.
Yeah, that's the reverse angle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can go to. How do you do that then? How do you get to go?
Well, are you looking at a picture viewer or something like that? How do you get to your next picture? Can you get that from there? Seems like you should be able to.
Yeah. Okay. Let me
That's
go.
another one.
Let me try this.
Most picture viewers have a left and right arrow that you
showing?
can click to just scroll through the picture.
Is that showing?
Yeah.
Same on there.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's showing now?
The reverse angle picture that you were pulling up.
Hold on, that's not what I wanted. Let me just put this one on. Let me see if I can find another shot. There's really not another shot that shows the that shows that. So it's really kind of like a moot point.
Yeah.
But
I think your fixtures there. I mean, you're driving at home. Those wingtip fixtures are golden. I've never seen that on a non-I-beam airplane, and that's that obviously that's everything is lined up there.
That's showing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
that's the Caprice ready for finish.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
Oh, wow, now I see it. It just showed up.
Mhm.
So that's an IC motor. Boy, back in the day.
What's that?
So that's an IC motor.
Yeah, that was my last IC motor airplane. Well, okay, that's not exactly true. That's the last one I had flying. I converted all my other airplanes to electric after this, but that were glow motor initially. But this one I kept glow because I felt the classic. I should really fly classic with a glow engine, So I don't want to get lynched at VSC. But they told me after they told me after I won the thing 5 times in a row with this airplane, they said if I bring it back again, they're going to burn the airplane and lynch me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that.
Was that
Like one of the guys on Stunthangar signature says, "Electric is the future of old-time stunt."
Yeah, exactly. All right, hold on a second. Let me see if I can do one more here real quick.
Sure.
Now that I got this working here,
yeah.
Go
for it.
There's the Caprice,
Well,
there we go.
While Bob's digging the next one up, let me ask y'all a question. Is there any evidence?
Yeah. That's the one white
Is there any evidence that my voice is coming in at the wrong time again tonight? That I'm stepping on people when I don't mean to?
So that's not one of your bronze dogs that Billy was talking about, huh? Since you won 5 times.
No, they had actually, and here's something.
Yeah, it is.
Here's something nobody really knows. I never actually had any bronze in my airplanes. It was always either copper or metallic brown. It was never bronze. It was technically copper. So all those years I was taking the abuse about having bronze airplanes. I never actually had one.
You didn't have a 55-gallon drum of bronze paint?
No, it's copper.
I don't know. That sounds. I don't know, guys. It sounds like semantics here. I'm not sure.
Well, most of you guys know the story, but if you want me, Steve, to tell the people here who maybe haven't heard this story, I'll tell it again.
Yeah, you might as well, because I know it and stuff, but not everybody probably does.
Okay. My dad was an automation engineer, and one of the jobs he got, this is back around 1972, 71 or 72, was from U.S. bronze powder to make a machine that would fill the vials and then package them and then get them ready for shipping. So they sent him boxes and boxes of these vials of bronze powders in all different colors. Just because they said bronze powders, they were also copper and green and purple and red and all different kinds of colors. So he said to me, he held up a vial and he said, I bet you if you mix this in dope, you could use it as a trim color on your airplane. And I had a brand new airplane. It was the original Genesis. And I said, okay, he wants me to try it. I'll try it. I was ambivalent about it. But I put it on and put red trim with it and black lettering, and he just loved it. So I said, well, make my dad happy. I'll just do this. Well, it started a trend, and I had maybe 17 or 18 airplanes trimmed more or less that way. And Billy Werwich always hated it. He just hated the bronze or the copper color. And he made no bones about telling me how much he hated it. And of course, I just kept making them that way just to piss him off, you know. And I probably, you know, and one day he asked me, he said, and he was the first one to say it. He says, "What do you got, a 55-gallon barrel of that crap? I don't want to see any more of those." So then I started making two-tone bronze and copper airplanes with all the other trim colors to really piss them off, right? So 1993, we got our first golden retriever. We have our third one now. And I called him up on the phone. And I said, "Guess what, Billy?" I said, "I even have a bronze dog." And he says, "Bob, you've had a lot of bronze dogs." Click.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
A lot of
funny.
bronze dogs.
Well, so far, it's the best job you've done of telling that story, Bob.
What's that?
I said, so far, that's the best job you've done of telling that story.
Absolutely. That's all right. It's
Hey,
it's
listen
great
to
every
you guys.
time I hear it.
Well,
You
one thing
guys, let me
about it
ask
is,
y'all.
if you went to a contest or, you know, Nats, whatever, Bob was there, you didn't have to say, "Where's Bob's airplane?"
Mm.
When you seen it, you said, "Oh, there's Bob's airplane." You didn't have to know his number or anything. I always kind of liked it. I mean, it was like, that's Bob's airplane. Everyone knew who Bob's airplane was.
Well, there was one airplane that everybody called the bronze dog right after Billy named that airplane. You know, he said that. And the story got out. And then one airplane in particular, everybody called the bronze dog. And I'll see if I can find that picture of that airplane real quick here.
Was that the Saturn?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a Saturn. Hold on a second.
I remember that airplane.
Good airplane.
You still got it?
No, I lost that the week I was supposed to leave for Sweden for the World Championships in '96. I had been to the Nationals. I was being inducted that week into the Papa Hall of Fame, and I wasn't going to fly because I didn't want to risk my airplane. And I got out there, and I had the bronze dog with me, and I had the brand new one I was going to take to Sweden. And after the first day of flying, I was in second place after the first day on my circle, and I went out to practice a little bit in the wind with the new red, white, and blue one, and lead out broke, and it crashed. So I dropped out of the contest, the Nationals that year, so I wouldn't wreck the other one, my backup, the bronze dog. And got home and got it all set up and started practicing, and a push rod broke. And Billy was the alternate, and I called him up like 2 days before he had, the airplane was due to leave from Kennedy to go to Sweden. And he said, I said, "You're on the team. You're the alternate." He said, "Well, I can't get there." He said, "My car's broke down." So my son Robbie got in our car and drove out to Cleveland, 7 hours. Picked up Billy, brought him back. I gave him my uniform, which, hung on him, because it's such a little guy, and gave him my ticket, and he went to Sweden. And when he got back, we had to pick him up at the airport and then drive him back to Berea and then drive home again. So we logged about 2,500 miles driving Billy Werwidge all over the place, and I didn't get to go. So it added insult to injury,
How'd he do that year?
How'd he do? He took 5th or 6th, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on a second. I got the
was that the Nat or the World Championships where you were defending champion?
No, I was defending champ in '80.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this one was taken in Czechoslovakia when it was still Czechoslovakia in '92. When we won the team, that's the year Paul won, and we won the team championship. But that's the bronze dog.
I think it looks great, but
you flew that at
Huh?
Bob, you flew that at the 95 Nats at Tri-Cities. That's where I remember it from.
I flew at the 93 Nationals, the 94 Nationals, the 95 Nationals, and at the 2004 Worlds, not for 2000, the one in China. What was that? 2004. And I flew it. I flew at 2 World Championships. And this one in China. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Pretty.
yeah, it's a good airplane.
Very nice.
It lasted a long, long, long time. Now, how do I get back out of this? I forgot. There we go. Okay.
Should be a button that says stop
Yeah.
sharing near the bottom of the screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Memories.
Hey, guys, does it sound to y'all like my voice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it sound like
Yeah,
my
your
voice
voice
is
is-
way out of sync again tonight?
It starts and stops too, Rusty.
What'd you say?
Your voice starts.
Okay, I'm just going to quit talking then. Okay, I'm going
Don't
to
do
quit
that.
talking. Well, I have to until
We
the
like-
crowd thins out. I'll figure out what's wrong, but it's making me unable to communicate and interfering with calls. So I'm just going to back off unless I'm needed.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, what's up, Bob? How are you?
Good. How you doing, guy?
I'm doing well, man. You know, I like your Bob Gieske story. I'd like to hear that again.
Which one? I got a million of them.
The one about God. The one involving God.
The one what?
The one involving God.
You're breaking up a little.
The one with involving God.
Oh, God. Which one was that?
At the end, I don't want to ruin the punchline, but it involves God flying.
Oh. Well, this is an old joke, and everybody knows it. And you can insert anybody's name you want to insert. Everybody knows this joke. It's about when this Sunflyer dies, of not any particular note, and he goes to heaven. And St. Peter meets him at the pearly gates. And he says, I understand you're a stunt flyer. He says, well, yeah, I've flown some stunt. And he says, well, we have a tremendous stunt circle here and building facilities, and it's not always easy. He said, we don't make it perfect conditions. You get some wind, you get challenges. We make it so you have to go out and work at it. He said, you want to see the field? And he said, yeah, I'd love to see the field. So he gets out to the field, and there's this guy out there flying this red Nobler. And the guy says to St. Peter, he says, there's Bob Gieske. And St. Peter says, no, that's not Gieske. That's God. He just thinks he's Gieske.
Yeah.
Still think that's funny.
Yep.
I've never heard that.
Yep.
That is funny.
You can insert Dale Earnhardt. You can insert anybody you want.
Yeah, I've heard that in a number of different ways, but that's just perfect, though.
A little joke.
So.
Yeah, I like that joke.
Yeah, I got a million Bob Gieske stories. My favorite one is about the
Bob, I went to
Go ahead.
I went to a BSC this year, and I saw your design, that Thunderbird.
Oh yeah, Randy's.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful plane.
Yeah,
unfortunately, it crashed.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys.
He did some heck of a job on that, didn't he?
He did. I loved him. And even the what he had bombs on it and stuff. It was pretty neat.
Oh, they were actually drop tanks.
Okay, yeah, he had those on. It was really neat. I thought it was really cool looking plane.
Those were drop tanks, not bombs. Yeah, but man, he did a beautiful job on that thing, and to see it crash. And there was another one out there that Ed Capitanelli had built, and I guess Lou Wolgast flew it in Nostalgia and took second with it. Well, 2 F-105s. I may have to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It actually flew better with the drop tanks, didn't it, Bob?
It did. It flew. Actually, I almost hung it on the wall. I flew it without the drop tanks. I just made the drop tanks, for appearance, just to make, when I took it out to the field, I would take them off to fly it. And it really didn't fly. It flew okay, but it didn't fly great. And then I said, what the heck? Before I retire it, I'll put the drop tanks on once just to see what it looks like. And it turned into a monster. The thing just absolutely turned into a machine. and that's the first airplane I started winning big on the East Coast with. It's good airplane.
Wow. Amazing.
Sometimes.
You never know. I think it had something to do with
You know
the
what?
drag.
Joe,
Drag. No. Good
I
bird.
feel so bad for Randy. He's lost a lot of good ships
Oh man.
recently.
Yeah, he's a sad sack. I mean, he's a great guy and a phenomenal builder. It's just that he's had such bad.
Yeah.
What happened with that airplane? I seen it there.
He crashed it in a clover. Got loose on entering the clover in some wind apparently, and he couldn't catch it and he crashed it. Good airplane though. Really pretty.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing is,
Yeah, it was.
is that he sent it, he finished it, and the same damn day he sent it out there to someone to take it there for him and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, hell, he got no trim flights on it. He really had no flights. Then you get at a contest when you got wind and stuff, and what are you going to do? Say, oh, I'm not going to fly, or try to fly through it. And, I mean, if he had a month or so of trimming on it to where he'd know he was getting loose someplace or not, then
There's mine.
Who's holding it?
That's me.
That's you.
Yeah. And you know,
I'll
who,
take
and
your word there, buddy.
and you know who took that photo?
Yeah.
who?
Don McGovern, the legendary editor.
Oh, really?
Don McGovern, yeah. That was at his house out in Center Reach, Long Island. What a crazy person he was.
And look at that hippie hair. That had to be back in the 70s.
Oh, remember, I was a hippie at the time. I went to Woodstock and everything,
All right.
That's right. I like the drop tank.
Oh, that's cool.
Did you ever, Bob? Did
I
you
wish
ever see the one? Did you ever see the one that Bob Hudak built with the retracts?
with the
and everything?
retracts. Yeah, what a nice airplane that was too.
Yeah, well, his turned out heavier than it should have been, but I mean the outline when you suck up the landing gear, the outline, the jet outline just jumped out at you. The thing really looked vicious going through the air.
Actually,
Awesome.
I'm a little pissed off at him because we were talking on the phone when he was getting into electric. I was helping him out a little bit. We get talking about what airplane he should build, and I said, well, one I want to build, I said, is my F-105 again. I said, think how cool that would look without the engine head sticking down with electric motor, and with the drop tank sticking down and with retracts. And he says, yeah, that would be great. And then he sends me a picture of it. He says, I did it.
That's why I hate telling people what I want to build.
Oh, well, God bless him. He did a good job.
Yeah.
I got enough things to build.
That's it.
Don't we all? How many people are getting building done now that you're self-quarantined?
Yeah, not much.
Yep,
Just trying to finish up an old timer.
Oh, yeah. Well, all of us got all kinds of building done.
Yeah.
I've been working on a madman. 2 airplanes ready to go one piece.
I'm doing a lot of drawing.
Yeah.
I worked down on the basement, made sure no one stole all my balsa wood and stuff. It's still there, so I'm good to go.
Well, heck, Gerald is even building while we talk here. So it looked like he was doping the wingtip. Is that a Thunderbird you got there, Gerald?
Yeah, it's a Thunderbird. It's a Thunderbird. I'm putting sanding sealer on it using butyrate and talcum powder. The high technology way of doing it, but I'm doing it anyway. And I want to get finished. We don't get appearance points here, so it'll be a bit rough and ready. But with no appearance points, there's no point going for a really sparkly finish. I'll just shoot it with some paint once I get it rough enough and good enough for me. But we were able to fly here at home. But the thing that gets me is, how about fuel, glow plugs, all the gear? If you can't buy the gear at some point, nobody can fly. So it's a bit of a worry that the ridiculous shutdown we've got here is just all enveloping. They've really gone over the top here. It's all.
So now we're going to be buying toilet paper and glow fuel. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, not glow fuel.
Well, even if you're flying electric, what happens if the battery goes? You you can't replace any important gear, any critical gear. It was like I was chopping up firewood yesterday and a spark plug broke. The motor just stopped on the chainsaw, and I thought, now what am I going to do? I can't exactly go out and get a spark plug at the supermarket. Everywhere selling automotive gear, hobby gear, or farming gear is closed. All over the top. But yeah, we get building done. I think everybody's got building, COVID-19 building video and engine running videos going on the internet. There's a lot of people that are using the time wisely anyway.
A lot of my musician friends are doing house concerts on YouTube, so you can listen to them play on YouTube. I just came from one of those when I came here.
Oh, that's good.
I got on Hobby today, and they're out of everything.
Yeah.
You know, they're in Hong Kong or whatever. So it must be that, you know, for months they've got nothing. I mean, they're just out of everything.
Well, I just got 6 new 6S 2800 batteries, and I got a bunch of 35 millimeter motors, and I got a lot of balsa and stuff, so I'm set. I can go for a long time.
I just got an email
But do you
from
have
one of
glue?
I got cases of glue. Cases. I bought it by the case.
I got an email from one of the suppliers in China for Brodak asking how we were doing and stuff like that. And apparently, at least this outfit's been back in business since early March. And so maybe that's it coming out the others. Maybe that's the light at the end of the tunnel. We're starting to let them open up there.
What do they supply, Dennis?
This is the ESC maker, electronic shop. So
well,
they're the ones that make that Hornet ESC.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. At least they're producing something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it. Yeah, they've been shut down
Hey,
since whenever. Yeah, John.
When you get a chance, would you put up that file I sent you?
Absolutely, got it ready to go. Let's see if I'm as good as Bob was. All right.
He got pretty good at it.
Yeah, now that I know how to do it, I'll be insufferable.
Who? You? Nah. All right. Hey, the last several weeks, John's been telling us about this combat plane, the Gordy's combat plane he's been working on, and here it is. So, John, what do you want to show here?
Yeah, Gordon, besides being a stunt flyer, was actually a pretty darn good combat flyer for many years.
Gordy can fly.
And this is his Challenger. Come on, you wrote the article and said the best stunt flyer never won the Nats.
That was Gene Schaefer.
Yeah. You amended that. Anyway, this was designed in 1971. It's his Challenger, and interestingly enough, this very airplane with a foam wing, Bob, actually won the first glider grabber.
Wow!
Under at the hands of the late Jim
Ticky,
Gordon's best friend at the time. Anyway, I can't remember his last name. Starts with a W. Oh. Anyway, this is actually pretty darn good airplane. I've watched it fly. It's very fast and very maneuverable. It generally turns inside most other combat ships, and that gives them a tremendous advantage. You like the way I got the line weights on this thing? Fox, what, Mark III, I think.
Mark III's, okay. Yeah, that would be very correct.
Something along that line.
I guess what got my attention was looking at, it's a nice looking airfoil and everything like that, but I got, that's almost verbatim what he used on the Pathfinder there, isn't it?
It's a little thinner, but yes, in fact, the Pathfinder got its airfoil from the Challenger series, his later ones, had a much thicker. He said he found out that that the thicker the airfoil got, it didn't hurt his speed, but it sure increased his maneuverability, and it gave him an edge up in most of the matches that he was in because he had that maneuverability. He also originally had the spars there. He originally had those turned 90 degrees. He thought that was stronger, and then somebody explained to him about section modulus and how the laid on its side like that, the spar was actually stronger. And I got to call this one of my big things about a lot of guys that are doing CAD work for model airplanes. Many of them don't know how to do their line weights properly, and so close in on something there, would you, Denny? Just kind of so you can see the different line weights for hidden lines and object lines. It makes a huge difference on a CAD. That's where CAD plans get the reputation of not having a soul, is that they wind up with all the lines being one weight.
Now he didn't.
When you pin a little.
He didn't have shear webs between those?
What?
He didn't have any shear webs between those?
No, he didn't.
Wow.
Nope, no shear webs.
Why?
And very seldom ever folded a wing unless he got hit. But he did have, you see up there at the leading edge, he's got 1/8 by 1/4 spruce that goes from one wingtip to the other on a single one, and then where he's got, go up, show the engine cut out.
Huh. I throw a few shear webs in there.
Bob, I don't think those came till later, till they started running Mark 4 and Mark 5 with Thrasher cranks and
right.
Had double bubble Hemis, and that's when they started folding wings and putting shear webs in combat.
Huh? You see up there where the spruce spars are doubled? That's so that he could cut out. He said it really didn't come alive until he moved the engine back, and then it really came alive. So he's got the spruce spars doubled out, one bay out past the engine cutout, and one bay to the other side, and so that was where I suspect that having that leading edge backed up with that spruce made that leading edge very tough and was very helpful in a combat meet. I don't know. What would you think, Mike?
Yeah, that would definitely add some strength there. I mean, even in our foamy day, we put either an arrow shaft or a piece of carbon fiber rod right through the nose block, about 4 inches on each side of the wing. We make a T-bar in there with a carbon fiber rod going through the nose block to stiffen that up. Usually just in front of the bar, just as an added strength.
Okay. Yeah. Now, what might have looked like a shear web to you, Bob, is that showing the hidden line there for the edge of that rocket tube.
No, I didn't think there were shear webs. I said, I was surprised he didn't have any shear webs.
Oh, okay. No, that wasn't too big in those days. We didn't know much about shear web back in '71. Those of us, the unwashed masses.
I guess you got to figure back then, that this would have been a lot later than it, but like the Voodoos, everybody was flying. They just had a single spar running through the middle of the rib, which probably didn't do anything for strength at all.
No.
And so just the idea of putting the spars on the top and bottom surface of the wing had to be a huge improvement here.
Yeah, the Voodoo had that massive leading edge in it.
Yeah, they had the big solid leading edge, but that was basically the only structural member in the wing, right?
It was plenty.
So
it was heavy. It was heavy.
Now, if you showed up, see that right there, that thin line there that shows what do we call it? A stationary flap.
Yeah.
Glued in place stationary flap. That's an optional. He didn't have that on all of them, but he said when he started putting that on there, the plane flew better.
Yeah, more wing area.
And my feeling is well, it's more wing area, but it also, as the plane is raises its angle of attack, it actually, if the air is coming straight down that side of the bottom side, like it's going up, air goes straight up the bottom side of that wing, it hits that stationary flap, which acts like a little bit of a deployed flap right in that area. And it's only there while it's got its angle of attack increased, and it works both ways. And I think that's why the flight streak flew so well with that stationary flap that it had glued in place. Anyway, and he had this is half-inch heavy stiff, he calls it, stiff balsa in the fuselage. And there's a little piece there. It goes from just about where the spars are till you see that little hidden line there right behind the leading edge. That the way you built this thing is you slip that thing in from the front, you slip the other one in from the back, you glued the motor mounts on, and then you look up on the top view here, you'll see that there's actually a tripler or a nose doubler on there, right there.
What circuit is this, John?
And that's how he built it.
What circuit?
1971 was when it was designed.
71. Okay.
Circa?
Yeah.
71. Yeah. And he had a lot of fun with this thing. he wound up over the years. He wound up with several different iterations of it. This was just the first one, but towards the end there, he had about almost a 2-inch airfoil, a thick airfoil on there, and 48-inch wing. And he was running one of the later combat, the Fox combat engines. And boy, that sucker would scream. And he didn't lack for speed or for maneuverability. Like I say, most of the time with this design, he was able to outmaneuver in the turns. He didn't lose his speed. A lot of the planes with smaller wings and less airfoil would get into tight maneuvering, and they'd start losing their speed because of the drag and less lift. And he didn't run into that. The airplane.
What's that little box on the bottom of the wing for?
Bell crank mount.
Oh, okay.
Bell crank mount.
Yeah. Right, that makes sense.
Anyway,
that comes all the way out to the coming up through the whole wing. All right.
No, that was they didn't start doing that till later. He said that he had a bell crank pull out once when the bell crank mount failed on him, and so after that he started putting. I haven't shown it in there yet. He started putting a vertical piece, and they were standing it on the inside up next to the fuselage, standing it upright, going up to the spar. And he put that there. Now that end of the bell crank mount couldn't pull up and pull loose. He never lost.
Why wouldn't he put the bell crank on the other side of the airplane? Oh, because of the tank or the the bladder tank.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm showing his wire. He actually had this thing really slowed down. If you look at the bell crank area there, you'll see that the place for the push rod attached to is real close to the bell crank mount, the center mount, and it
cuts down the amount of.
You see that
it looks like the inner.
Yeah, and so he could tune the turn rate really quite nicely. It wasn't all jumpy all the time.
Yeah, your adjustment would be at the elevator form.
Yeah. So that's the play. Now, this is showing he started out originally. He had over under mounts on it. He thought it was nice to be able to have it turning off at the same place. And he said he took that off of there, and he told me about this today. So I've got to redo it without that. because the bottom one, as he bring it in on the grass, and some of that grass is kind of nasty. Southern California, a lot of it's crabgrass, and it catch that it catches flying line there, and it ripped the bell crank out. So he then went to just right in front of the brace there on the wingtip. The front one comes out, and an inch and an eighth behind it, the rear one comes out. And so
it's interesting how you got the lead out playing through the same hole.
Well, these are through the. Oh, you did it through the same hole?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't.
Or are they over and under?
71. Yeah, these are over and under.
Over and under. Okay.
And it didn't work for him, so it was still on his original plan. So that's why I wound up on here. But he told me today he changed that, so I'll be making a change. I laid out the rib and made sure that they were dead on symmetrical by just drawing the top half of the rib that's on the fuselage, and then I mirrored it so that the digital file, it's the same top and bottom. It's absolutely symmetrical. So anyway, and in the cutout, we've got that inch and an eighth rocket tube, plastic rocket tube for his bladder, and that just barely we can do it cutting, laser cutting, but I don't think we could do it with die cutting because there's just not a lot of material there. It's going to be really, until he gets it together, it's going to be really, really weak right in that area where that cutout is for that rocket tube. But if we maintain it, it'll keep the tube and everything, and that'll really strengthen that section of the wing up. You'll notice that it's got cap stripping on the ribs. He did that because he was a stunt flyer in the first place. But he also did that. It's not shown on here, but he had cap stripping on there because he wanted to use 16th inch ribs out here to keep the weight down. He's got 1/8 inch in the center section where the center section is sheeted, and then the cap strips on it makes them like little I-beams in there, helps straighten them up a little bit. So that's it. That's what I've been working on.
Cool.
I think it's outstanding. There's a lot of work in that drawing. A lot of good thinking, a lot of different thinking in the design. So
Can't hear you, Denny.
Oh, sorry. That's probably an improvement then. Okay. All right, John, anything else you want to show on this? Okay, I just wanted to come back to that airfoil again. Here's a older design. This is a super swoop. This is apparently in the Aeromodeling manual. Or swoop, not super swoop, but this is a combat winner, I think around 1960 or so. But take a look at airfoil, sharp leading edge, high points way back, everything like that. And I'm betting this was probably fast, but I know which one I'd rather go maneuvering with, That or that.
Well, I would bet that the swoop, as it started maneuvering, would start scrubbing off speed real quick.
Yeah, well, that's right.
That wing would be.
It would not maintain speed. It probably wouldn't turn as tight either. So he'd be burning up speed, turning bigger, sloppier turns than what Gordy's airplane was doing. So.
Yeah, I'd love to find a CAD file for that Fox Combat, the Mark III Combat, or even one of the later ones, but just something to show an engine in that spot there. I like to do that on planes, but I can't find a file for that engine.
Well, it would only take you about 80 hours of CAD work to draw the engine yourself, wouldn't it? So.
Say what?
It would only take you about 80 hours of CAD work to create the engine yourself, wouldn't it? So.
Yeah. I overdraw. I've got so much more on that drawing now than's there. Yeah, but I think that plans, you can draw them Spartan and people who know what they're doing can build off of it. But I found that people like a little bit of extra guidance in some things, especially if it's their first time building something like it. So that was something John Brodak requires on the plans that I did for him. He wanted a lot of other information. If you look at the plans I did for Billy's Aries, that thing is
What
just
about an
full
airfoil
of
like
little
this?
extra.
What about an airfoil like this?
I can't see it.
Pull it back a little bit so you can see it. There you go.
Kind of a polywog.
Sort of a polywog.
It's a reflex airfoil.
Yeah, it has a little bit of under camber here.
Yeah. Gentlemen, I'm going to have to go. I got to get up early in the morning. So thank you so much.
Good night, Dennis.
Thanks, Bob.
Good night, Bob.
You Thanks for hanging out with us.
Good night, Bob.
Appreciate
Bye.
Good night. Hey guys, I've been messing with my settings a little bit. Tell me if I sound any more in sync with my voice than I did before.
Well, it's a lot better actually. You're still out a little bit, but it's a lot better.
Okay, I turned my video resolution as far down as it would go without blacking out. So does it sound good enough to where I'd actually be able to join the conversation now?
I think so.
I'm guessing.
Okay, John, anything else you want to talk about on this plan?
What?
Am I finished?
Thanks for putting it up for me, Denny.
John, am I finished here? You want me to close this? Or?
Yeah, I think I've done. It's real hard to hear you or understand you, Denny. I think you got your mic covered up.
No, it's right in front of me here. Must have a battery going bad or something. Hang on. I don't know. Is that any better?
No.
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 Not really.
Right.
Hey, Rusty, how do you turn down your video and stuff like that? I got speakers.
Go down to the three dots and scroll up to where it says video settings. And you've got about 4 different settings you can click on from good to bad.
No, which one? Okay, I hit the 3 dots. I see manage video, manage video quality.
There you go.
I'll turn mine down. Let's see if that helps with bandwidth and stuff.
Are you turning it down to the good, the bad, or the ugly?
I think it's just on the user's end. I think it's everybody individually. I think I just got too high a latency on my broadband here. Because it's impossible for me to join a conversation. Either nobody knows I'm talking or I'm stepping on somebody.
Well,
but can y'all hear me okay right now?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too much.
Okay.
But yeah, it says on that you can do your bandwidth. So
yeah, when I turned mine all the way down, my camera turned off. So I went to the ones clicked higher, and it's on. But y'all can hear me okay now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I'll rejoin the conversation.
Dennis got his camera off. Tom's got his off. Gary's got his off.
Yeah. Dennis has got a microphone problem for sure.
What was it?
All right. I just changed some things. Did that help any?
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it helped a lot.
Yes.
Okay. I think I had a bad thing. Jack wasn't plugged in all the way. Hey, you guys, you were lucky. You had I had my video turned off and you couldn't hear me. It was like I wasn't even here, right?
Yeah.
Good for you.
I hope I've got mine straightened out a little bit.
Yeah, you're looking better. You're definitely your
Sounding
voice
better.
is in sync with your picture now.
Yeah, yeah. I might be blurry, but that's probably a good thing too. So, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna tell,
I hate not being able to join the conversation.
I meant to show
I've
people
got so much.
that I don't know if you know when Samantha moved out, she left this in the bathroom cupboard. This thing sprays the finest mist I've ever seen in my life. I don't know why.
Atomizer.
Huh.
When I seen it in there, I'm like, well, it must not work. So I threw a little water in it, and it must be for her hair or whatever hell girls use stuff like that for. But
I was thinking for a hair.
so I was thinking you could dig around and see if your wife has one of these, and it's really good for spraying silk span.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
The other one I would use had like big drops that would fly out, you know, every so often. And it was kind of hard to control how much water was coming out. But yeah, that thing just—I mean, it's the finest mist I've ever seen.
Yeah, like an atomizer.
Is there a name?
Yeah.
Is there a name brand or anything on it?
Pardon me?
Is there a name brand on it or anything? Is there
No,
a
it's just-
manufacturer or anything?
Oh yeah, there is something on the bottom. Let me go get my reading glasses and see if I can read it.
Okay.
I've gotten
It's
to where
hell, you know.
I've gotten to where I take a picture of things
Yeah.
and then read the picture on my camera. Medicine bottles.
That's a
and
good way of
stuff.
doing it. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it works good, especially with medicine bottles and stuff like that.
All right, let me see if I can read this thing. Hell no. Shit. Let me try something else here.
Take a picture of it, Steve, and then enlarge the
Yeah, that's
picture
what,
on
I'm,
your phone.
that's what I'm gonna try to do is get that
Yeah.
damn thing in focus.
So is that aluminum or is that plastic? It looks like
It's
it's
aluminum.
metal.
It's aluminum.
Okay.
It's so tiny I can't even. Hold on.
Hey,
Hey,
there's
Walter.
Walter.
Hey,
How
Walter.
you doing, guys?
Hey,
Oh,
Walt,
wow.
how you doing tonight?
I'm here.
Well, that's good.
It's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks. It's been a couple.
You
of
doing
weeks.
okay, Walter?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. How
Good.
about you guys?
Various
Doing well.
degrees of
Yeah.
all
How about
right.
you guys?
We're in various degrees of all right.
Various degrees of all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Dennis
That's
supposed
as
to show
good
his
as it
airplane
gets.
today.
What's that?
I said Dennis is supposed to show
Who's
his
got the
airplane.
airplane? Oh, that's
You
right.
guys.
Oh, look at that.
Whoops. There we go.
Well,
Who's on
Don't trip and step on it.
Yeah.
Dennis's airplane?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dennis's
that's your
airplane.
new
You don't
Viking,
step on
Dennis?
it, then.
Yeah. Trying to figure out how to point the computer at it. Since the camera's in the top of the screen here. This is the new Viking.
What is
Very
that?
nice.
See it on Pennsylvania.
What is that?
Now,
It's the Viking.
The Viking.
Very nice. Very colorful.
I like it. It's pretty.
yeah, I put the checkerboard on it and got it all, had it in my mind what I wanted to do. I got it all on there, and I said, well, hell, it looks like a taxi cab. But
You had to paint it yellow.
Oh well.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
I thought you wanted to have a taxi cab plane.
Air taxi.
Charles, it's Greenbrier International.
Okay.
It's imported from China, but it works
Thank
really
you very
good.
much.
Look nice.
Good to see you, Walter. How you doing these days?
Been busy. Been trying to get my health back in order.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that kind of stuff. So I have a nurse come 3 times a week, wraps my legs up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I've pretty much been staying home, you know, because I have underlying health issues. So I don't want to go outside and chance getting sick, you know.
No.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely want to be careful these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're really healthy. When I went to CVS today, actually the signage in the doorway said, "If you're feeling if you're feeling under the weather, please don't come in."
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, my wife just got a new job working at Lowe's as a cashier. My God, you can't even walk in the store. There's so many people.
Yeah, what the hell is everybody at? I know that I went to the bank, and it's in the same like parking lot as Lowe's, and there wasn't a place to park in there.
Nope.
It's like, what the hell? They got toilet paper in there or what?
I think people are working on their homes. I think if they're stuck in I mean, I'm working on my office. I'm actually cleaning my office. That's what I've been doing since I've been staying in the house.
You should be billing, Charles.
I know.
You should be billing no more cleaning until your airplane's done.
You know.
Yeah, I know, but I can't stand this office.
All kidding aside, what it is with so many people out of work, they're doing what my wife called today. They're doing all the honeydews.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, that's right.
So she was called in on Sunday to come in, and it was her day off. And she had a tooth pulled on Friday. She had a tooth Friday. She had to wait a week for them to get her in because they were only taking emergency people, emergency patients on Friday.
Right.
They got her in there. They said, you have an abscess. Her cheek looked like it was out about 3/4 of an inch. And they said, you do have an abscess, but we can't give you medicine. Wait for you to get better and then reschedule you for an extract. So we're going to just do it today. And that was on Friday. So she stayed home from work Friday, even though she just got the job. And they called her in she went in on Saturday, and Sunday was her day off. They called her in on Sunday. So she went in and worked Sunday.
Yeah, well, I got an email from the Michigan dental deal or whatever, and they gave me a thing that in town here. It said, please do not go to the emergency room for any kind of teeth problems or whatever. Since that there's the state's setting up certain places now for emergency dental because people were going to the emergency room with abscesses and, like you said, stuff like that. So, but that's just something they did in the last few days.
Yeah, and people are starting to get real crazy. I got one of my 5 children. Well, my oldest son, he's an armed security guard in South Carolina, he was making his rounds, and he radioed somebody and said that he was jumping into the head, right? He was done with his rounds, and he's going to just go to the bathroom before he goes back to his desk. He was in the bathroom, and he heard a gunshot. He comes running out.
Whoa.
The guy blew the door. He's coming in to try to steal medicine for his dog.
Holy
So
shit.
he had no choice. The guy had a shotgun. He had no choice. He shot the guy in the shoulder. I mean, thank God he didn't kill him. But, you know, people are getting crazy. They're real crazy.
I'll be right back.
Wow.
So
I just got a good idea from somebody on YouTube about Steve's atomizer sprayer, and I didn't think of it, but he's right. Phil Bailey says, look in the plant section at Lowe's that he found his, and it's exactly right. People with house plants use atomizers to moisten the leaves and clean them. The ones with big leaves. Steve walked away right about when I was fixing to say that. There you go. That's
There's
what
Gerald
Steve
with
had
his.
right there. Yep.
Gerald has one?
Yeah. And he has another one
It's the
too.
top part.
I guess you gotta. I guess
We
you
can't
gotta
hear you,
have
Gerald.
silk span now.
Gerald, are you talking?
I think his lips are moving.
Gerald, you're not
I
coming
can't hear
through.
Gerald.
he must
You're
have
not coming
muted
through,
his mic.
Gerald.
Check your
No
mic.
voice.
No sound, Gerald.
Yeah, I think he's figured out what we're telling him now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we still on? Am I still on?
You're still there.
You're on, yes,
You're
sir.
still on.
All right. You guys should be in. Wait a minute. Where is it? Trying to toggle my camera. Now it's gone. Oh, here we go. You guys should be ashamed
Yeah.
of your.
Oh, Steve, you walked away.
Oh,
All right.
Right
So you
when I
got
was saying
3 of them
that.
going, huh?
3 of them going. I just got to sand the wings, and it fuses are sanded, stabilizer and rudders are sanded. Just got to sand the wings, and we'll be gluing.
All right.
Who can't build airplanes in a live chat? You guys should all be building something.
Yeah, we should all.
Yeah.
I'm just piddling, and you know, I've been looking at these kits for like a year, sitting on my shelf, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to build them.
This was a great time to do it. Steve, you
Yeah.
walked away right when I was saying Phil Bailey over on YouTube said, get those atomizer sprayers in the houseplant section at Lowe's. Walmart too, probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't even think. Yeah, I've heard of atomized sprayers, but I didn't know they come in little bottles like that. And I didn't know where Samantha got it or whatever. But yeah, man, talk about work nice.
Well, she'll probably come over and take it from you. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't have told you guys about it if there wasn't a restriction on leaving your house.
Yeah.
Gerald had one too.
That's funny.
But you got to use the
Where'd
knife
you
on
get
it.
that?
You think you can break them parts out without breaking them up?
Tom, I have a question for you.
So,
sure.
Tom, the question is, have you ever used the iPhone and the Arduino IDE app inside of it?
No, I have not done that.
Okay, cool, thanks. When you go in open a sketch in Arduino IDE, it only gives you 3 folders from which you can select sketches. And when I try to use iTunes to transfer files from my PC to the iPhone, it would not put them into the folder. You put them outside of the folder, and I cannot access them, or I don't know how to access them from the phone. That's my big question. So, but if you don't have an answer, you don't have an answer, I guess.
I believe I've done where we connect an external module that supports Bluetooth, and then communicated Bluetooth to a phone, not an iPhone, but a phone with an Android phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you have to have a file into the iPhone to communicate to something else, right?
Yes.
Well, my problem is getting the file into the iPhone library.
Oh, I see.
It has a folder in there. Actually has several folders. If you open it, and I'm doing it right now, you want to open a sketch, and if you click on that, you have some, I have a bunch of blank things here. And if I go open an example, I have a bunch of examples because they are downloaded with the stuff, or a library example. And I also have a bunch of library examples. So in other words, if I make something that's my own sketch, right, I should put it inside here, but I cannot save it to this open sketch, um, you know, kind of library thing.
Because you can't access specific folders, is that why?
Yes, I use iTunes. I found the application. I found a place to drop the files. I found a folder, but I cannot drag and drop the file into that particular folder that I need to put it into.
Hey, Tran, have you tried using the USB cable from the phone to your computer and using the computer to drag the files around?
Yes, that's what I'm doing with iTunes. Yes, correct.
Oh, that is what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
That's strange that it won't let you.
Yes, I have no clue. I mean, it's like in Windows, where you put, it's easy to drop something in a folder. You just hover it on top of the folder. It goes inside the folder, right?
Yeah.
If I do the same thing on iTunes, and I grab the file from one side and put it through iTunes into that folder, right? Because I can find these 3 folders in iTunes. I can see them over there. But if I try to drop it in there, it would not allow me to drop it in there. I cannot even open those subfolders so I can drop a file in a subfolder, like in Windows you do. You see a folder, you click on it, it opens.
Some kind of strange.
Yeah.
Some kind of strange page, apparently.
So that's my problem. I cannot open the subfolder in iTunes, and I cannot drop the file into that folder. That pisses me off.
You can't get on Google someplace and ask some of
I
the
search everything. I search everything. I cannot find it. The information of my life depended on it.
You have to get on one of them and ask a question, and then one of them real smart kids will play with it until they get it.
I just put a question already, so
yeah.
Hopefully somebody gives me a stupid answer, because I don't seem to get it anywhere else. And it's so easy. I mean, it's like a file manager in Windows. Just copy and paste. Cut the file here, paste it over there. Big up to do. But for some reason, I can't put it inside the stupid folder.
Can you get you just a cheap ass Android phone and do it that way? Not even have it as a telephone. Just use it as the whole folders and stuff in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could do that. Yeah, because right now what I'm doing is that since I finished the programming and stuff like that, I'm ready to go and do some real life testing on them. For me to take the computer with me on a field, it's kind of a pain in the ass. But on the iPhone, I can just plug in the USB, plug into there, just communicate, do my changes, download it, and be done in 2 seconds. And the iPhone, everybody has an iPhone in their pocket, or an Android for that matter.
What I was going to say is that for some of these pay-as-you-go phones, you can pick them up for $20-$30. It might be, you know, just buy a cheap Android, and you know, you find somebody that has an old phone that'll give it to you or sell it to you for $5 or something.
Another way that might work is if you have a USB to JTAG programmer module, connect that to your phone with by USB, and then the JTAG can plug directly to the Arduino, and then you could program that way.
I can do that with my phone right now. I can just put the USB cord in it, just plug it in the phone, and I'm done.
So what's the problem with using that method?
The problem is I cannot get the files from my PC to the Arduino. I mean, to the iPhone.
He's trying to go the other way.
My files are done on a PC, right? In a Arduino IDE program app inside the PC. So I'm trying to copy and paste those files into the into the iPhone.
Now, are your files in Apple Music or whatever you have it in on your computer? If you put it in there first, then could you transfer it to the same thing in your phone?
iTunes is like a file manager that kind of is like the embassy between the computer and Apple.
Oh, okay.
So that should work like a file manager, right? So you can, you know, it's one of its functions, anyways. So what I've done is that I try to click copy and paste and drag into this folder, and doesn't do it. It copies into the iPhone, but not in that folder, somewhere else, and then I cannot access this when I say file open in my iPhone. It only sees these 3 folders that are over there.
Is it?
What I was thinking though is if you open it in your computer and write it in the same thing you're trying to transfer it to your phone. You know, that maybe one's written one way and it doesn't, you know, it's like JPEG and you know, if one's written in one, it doesn't open up in JPEG or something.
I don't know, I'm lost. I mean, just like this is kind of annoying right now. To be honest, I think if it was an Android phone, which is basically a Windows-based stuff. All right, Gerald, have a good one, bud.
Hi, Gerald.
Good night.
Good night, Gerald.
Good night, Gerald.
Good night.
Have fun, man. Get that airplane done.
Yep. I enjoy the plane.
Yep.
So
Everybody's telling you good night. It's probably middle of the day for you.
The Arduino IDE, when you compile, it creates the hex file that's going to go into the Arduino.
Yes.
And so those files are a .hex. And so maybe that's preventing it from going to the iPhone.
But it's an app made for the iPhone, so why wouldn't it be importing a, you know, just like it's just crazy. I don't get it. Yeah.
The source, you mean? So you're running Arduino IDE on your iPhone?
I'm trying to, yes, but just for, you know, for the purposes of getting the file, store it into my phone, so when I go fly, I can just plug in my phone into the directly into the plane and do changes and go fly. So I don't plan to change sketches and do any major modifications to them.
So what are you're just trying to transfer it from the iPhone to the Arduino without making any changes?
No, from the PC to the iPhone for now. And the next step would be open it in an iPhone be able to change things in the iPhone and then download from iPhone to the plane.
So does your iPhone have the Arduino IDE app in
Yes.
it?
Mm-hmm.
And so the only problem is transferring your file that you created
Mm-hmm.
for the Arduino IDE to your phone. You can't get that to your phone.
Correct.
Okay. So I have not had any experience with that, so I don't know if I
Yeah.
can help you with that.
Yeah, I don't see anybody helping me. It's just I search everything. I look into the iTunes app, which does that. Watch the videos. I can do some stuff that they show you over there. But when it comes to transferring a file in this particular app under that folder, or maybe I don't know how it's stored. Maybe you should have another folder. Maybe I'm missing a step. And there's no tutorials out there, no videos, no that I can find anyways. I mean, I think the person who created this app for the iPhone should probably have like some kind of a video. Hey, this is how you use it. If you have a file that you already have in your PC, this is how you transfer it over here. Procedures and stuff like that. So it's actually it's an app and there's no support for it per se. There are some videos where it showed like uh, taking a file and doing via Bluetooth to the Arduino board, but it's I mean, just like how is they gonna? Those guys already have some kind of a file transfer into their machines, right? Into the phone or tablet, whatever they're using, the Apple tablet or an Apple computer. But how did they get from point A to point B? That's nobody's saying any of that. It might be super simple, or am I super stupid and I don't know how to do
So
it?
maybe look for information on how to transfer source code files from a PC to the iPhone, because
Yeah,
that may be your problem. Maybe
that is my problem. Yes.
I mean, what I'm saying is maybe your iTunes doesn't support the source code files. And so you have to have some other way of transferring it.
Yeah, and that's the information I cannot find.
Okay.
Now with that app, can you write your code on your phone?
Yeah, but you know how long the code is? It'll take me a few days just to copy and paste the damn thing. I mean, I should be able to just do it, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of work, Steve.
Trying I have no experience with an iPhone or anything like that, so this is totally a flyer. Is there any chance that when you're trying to transfer a file that it's going to a cloud location? It's kind of a default and not going to your phone location.
When you transfer the file, you have to pick up the app in which you're gonna dump it into.
Right.
Windows has a centralized location for all the files, aka the file manager. In the iPhone applications, you dump the files that are specific to the application inside that application, right? So each application has its own, headquarters for the files, and only those files go over there. The problem I have is having access to those
Yeah.
headquarters per se, so I can copy and drop it in there.
Okay.
And in PC,
Got a YouTube
Arduino files are
suggestion.
saved
You
as
want
a
to hear it?
folder. So in a PC, Arduino files are stored as a folder. So if you want to copy an Arduino file, you have to copy the whole bloody folder, and
Mhm.
and and to be able to play with it and do stuff with it. So I'm done. I bored
Got a
enough.
suggestion on YouTube. Got a suggestion on YouTube. You want to hear it?
Yep.
Phil Bailey. Phil Bailey says you have to take the contents of folder in the phone and transfer it through the USB into the computer, and then combine the data, and then transmit back the phone.
Okay. All right. Maybe I
You want
should
me to
try it.
reread that?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. I'll
Okay.
try it. I'll give it a shot. I know exactly what he said. I'll try it. Yeah. What do I have to lose?
Hey, Steven, what airplane you got back there on the bed?
This is my new Eternal that I showed you last time when it was just in the early building stages. Now I'm in the finishing stages.
Cool.
Yeah, this is the new Eternal. This is my design. And finished the building to it. Now I got into the backmasking and painting of it this weekend and got that finished. So now it's in the drying stages.
Cool.
I gotta let it sit a week and fully dry before I can start touching it and finessing it more.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys on lockdown there in the state, or can you still move around?
Oh, it's a ghost town out. The state out here, absolutely nothing's going on. The strip is completely closed and nothing's happening at all out there. You drive down the streets over here and it's a complete ghost town. There's nothing going on at all. The roads are empty. All the stores are basically all shut down unless they're a major necessity store.
Okay. Well, that's like here. We want to fly at the field, and it's only a mile from my house to get there. But for the other guys, it's further, and now it's a $500 fine if you're caught being out and not going to a store or pharmacy or a bank. At least now they did. They let you go to the post office, but yeah, we could only go 3 places, and they pull you over. You know, I don't know how they prove you're not going to the store or something, or whatever. But it's a $500 thing.
They told
well, gasoline's only $1.50 here. That's good.
They haven't enforced us of anything if we go outside that they're going to prosecute us in any way or anything like that. We're just saying, or you're going to get forced to that. They're just telling you to stay indoors, but you go out, there's no place to go. So nobody's actually on the road anywhere because everything's closed. Everything is any social adventure or anything other than a supermarket. The supermarket closes at 8 o'clock. The other stores are closed at 8, 9 o'clock. Everything's shut down at 6 o'clock.
Are the supermarkets fully stocked?
No. They're getting a little bit better, but no. It's hit and miss. You go every day or every other day, and when you find something that you need, you pick it up, and if they have more than what you can get or whatever, stock up on it because come a day or two later, it's gone. If you try to find it again, if you made another trip in there. So I try to stock up. We try to stock up for a good week or two.
Yesterday we were out, and our price of gasoline was only $1.50.
Oh man!
Wow.
We were at $1.79, $1.89.
Yeah, that's what ours was before it really got bad around here. Back when nobody believed that anything was going to happen, it was like $1.98, and then it went down and down. It's about $1.50 now.
Well, they said
we went from
that you can buy
we went
oil
from $2.79
in Texas for $20 a barrel.
Yeah.
Now, when you're not allowed to use the gas, they lower the price, right?
Yeah.
We went from $2.79 to $2.85. Now we're down to about $2.20 a gallon.
Damn.
So
that's still high. We're getting it here for $1.60 something. It's down to now $1.68, I think.
Yeah.
Can't go much lower because I think there's $1.50 in tax.
They're just holding on to it so they can sell it when the price goes up.
Yeah.
I think the government makes more money than anybody else, profit or anything like that, from taxes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's
if they give
both.
the oil away for free, it still costs us $1.50 something a gallon.
Yeah, no shit.
all the small businesses out here, all the mom and pop shops, or all the small businesses, even commercial type small businesses, they shut them down.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the little small operations, they're shut down.
Hey, Walter.
Well,
Yeah.
How many watt is your laser cutter?
80.
80 watt. And have you ever had to replace the laser tube?
Yep.
How long have you owned it?
It's now 10 years old.
And so how long did the first tube last?
Little issue when I first got the machine, but it was because of my power surges in Florida. So what I did was when I bought the machine, I got 2 tubes. So what I did was I changed out the first tube thinking it was a tube issue. But it turned out it wasn't. So what I did was just said the heck with it. I left it. And about 2 months later, the tube exploded in the corner. I mean, on the end. And so I had to put the first tube back in. And believe it or not, you guys are going to laugh. I got 10 years out of it. Well, 9 years out of it.
Wow.
That's great.
Just last January, when after the move and I got reset up, I had to put in a new tube because I couldn't cut 1/8 plywood. so I had to buy a new tube. So,
Walter, does it have to shoot that beam through compressed gas or like that? And you have a bottle of gas that accompanies the laser that accompanies the beam to the target.
Here's the laser tube right there. Okay. It's a CO2 laser.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking.
It's CO2 laser. It's water cooled. Okay. And basically, I've got a chiller on the other side on the floor. I've got an air pump on the wall and an exhaust pump is out.
But you don't have a bottle of one of the noble gases, krypton or something. But you don't have to have a bottle of xenon or krypton or something like that.
It's sealed in the laser tube, Rusty.
Right. It's a CO2.
I got
sealed glass tube.
Okay.
And I can show you another. I could show you the full tube. I actually saved this tube because it's 10 years old. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how long it is. It goes.
Holy crap.
That's the first tube, the actual first tube I ever owned.
Well,
you must have a big laser table.
Yeah, it's right here.
Hey, Charles, how we doing?
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm doing well, Stephen.
I do.
Yeah. This is a 36-inch piece of wood. So.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's 1,100 pounds this week. Almost as heavy as me. And John Miller knows that to be a funny statement. True.
Yeah, it's really weird is that when I first started out working in refrigeration the air conditioning stuff, but chillers are considered refrigeration on a lot of them, and they were huge. I mean, they had 50 horse compressors and stuff like that running them. At the end, all I did was work on little teeny chillers that for laser machines and CNC stuff, and every single one has its own little chiller or air conditioning unit or whatever, just little dinky things, little compressors, and it's like, oh my god, from the stuff that was so big that you brought in a crane to change out a compressor to now you can grab them with one hand. But it got to be
wow.
Well,
it ain't worth working on them now.
mine is a.
We just change them out.
That's but they're like $500-600 a piece.
Right, and we were charging like $125 an hour. So if we couldn't fix it within like 2 hours, then it was cheaper because we figured half the money to replace it is cheaper in the long run to replace it. So yeah, we were just ordering another one on hooking lines back up. I mean, there was really no repair anymore.
Yeah, when couple of years after I had it, the when the water stops going through, okay, it actually sounds a little alarm, and my alarm kept going. My alarm kept going off, but the water kept going through. Don't knew that, I was an idiot, and I squeezed the tube and pulled it off at the same time, and water. But anyway, the water was still working. It turned out that there was some kind of a relay inside. Okay, it looked almost like an air filter, but it was for the water. And when the water wasn't going through it, it would sense that, and it would, I don't know what the part's called, but it would sound the alarm. Anyway, I called up the salesman, and he goes, "Let me get back to you tomorrow." He calls me back up tomorrow, and he says, "Take it apart and bypass that part." And I'm like, "What? He's freaking nuts?" But yeah, it was some kind of a sensor.
It was a flow sensor. We used to use.
That's exactly what it was called. Now that I remember that you said it.
Yeah. We used to use flow switches that actually moved, but now everything's electronic, and there's something in there, and it checks the pressure on one side to the other, and that's how the computer determines what the flow of that is. And
wow.
Yep. They'll get clogged up a little better.
Had me bypass it. Yeah, they just had me bypass it. That was it.
That's dangerous because if you really do drop out flow, you can burn stuff up.
Well, believe it or not, every now and again, I squeeze the tube to make sure that it's working, and we check it literally once a month. So give or take, but we always make sure that the temperature is right and it's working. So
I can't believe they can't send you a new flow sensor.
Well, I was out of warranty, it was a couple of years after I bought it. I only had a 2-year warranty. So the guy was like, just bypass it, we'll be good, But I just last January I had $1,500 worth of work done to it,
Wow, that's expensive.
Yeah.
Well, I had a new laser tube, was $850.
Mm-hmm.
The guy came here, cost me $750 for his labor, and then another $750 to do the power supply. And
wow.
he put in,
Now you're gonna have to make another 500 kits just to pay off just to work on
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
What's your next run?
Hey, look, you see right here, right now. See the belts?
Yeah.
Okay. I had to put a piece of, I had to look at my makeshift setup here. You see that? I got nose
Yeah, you're a
rings.
modeler.
I got nose rings and a 1x4 holding because I had to buy new belts.
So you made up a new type of belt tensioner, huh?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. But I'm trying to find. Yeah, wise ass. I'm trying to find where I can. I don't know where to buy metric drill bits. I've gone
You
to
kidding
Home
me?
Depot, Lowe's.
McMaster
I
car.
don't know where to get them.
McMaster
What?
car.
Yeah, McMaster car. I got mine at not Hobby. Where's that damn cheap place you can go and buy everything now?
Harbor Freight.
Harbor Freight. I
I
bought a
even
whole set of metric drill bits at Harbor Freight.
I even went to Harbor Freight. The guy didn't even know what the hell I was talking about. So what I bought was a numbered drill bit, a one to
Right.
1 to 60.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
you can
that's
do
what
that too. Yeah, you can get them real close by going to a number. You can buy number and letter both on some kits. You may have to use a letter to get you close enough on some of the metric.
I live in Alabama now. They don't know anything here.
Listen, I send you look in a chat box, and I send you a link. Just click on a link, pick whatever you need. They ship it the same day, and it should be there next day.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, because I went to 2 different stores. I even went to the auto parts store.
Don't even bother. Look in the chat box, open the link, and takes you right there.
Where is the chat box?
Bottom of the screen, towards the left, you have a TV, a hand, and something that looks like a rectangle with a little, appendix to it. You click on.
I got it. Thank you.
Or press the C on your keyboard.
I got it.
If you got a keyboard, press the
working on the
C.
phone.
Copy and paste.
On the phone.
Yeah, copy and paste the link, and you should be good.
Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome. Anytime.
I will definitely use
I'd do it for a friend too.
Uh-oh. Does that mean I'm
Oh, very good.
At least he knows where he stands.
Hey, I wonder what happened to Len tonight.
I don't know. I was wondering that earlier.
He might have crossed the border and they won't let him back.
Could be.
You guys are unreal, man.
I was gonna say, I know he isn't working either, so he should be free tonight.
Is that a bad thing or a good thing?
Well, none of us are working. Are you still working, Charles, where you're at?
Yeah, I'm still working, but very little hours.
Oh, okay.
Very little. I mean, they cut the store hours down.
I'm still working.
Like everybody else.
Is it Len?
Hey, Trianon, what's your last name?
Moroshano.
Have you and I communicated about the electric plane?
I didn't understand that last thing that you said.
Did you design an electric plane, Stunter, years ago?
Yeah. My first electric stunter was the Revolutions.
You and I corresponded about it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But I don't remember it.
Do you have the plane? Did you ever do the plane?
Oh yes.
How was it?
He's given us a good
It's unbelievable
education on that plane right here.
Did you ever find your sketches of that 40 size with the elliptical wing?
No, I did not. I'm missing some USB sticks that I have no clue where they're at, and I think the information was one of those.
That's too bad. Everybody
Yeah.
they should see that. That's a cool design.
Yeah. Walter, the Revolutions is the plane that was technically I started in 2002, 2003 with the design and stuff like that, but seriously, only 2017, I think, I first started to make the molds for it because it's a composite plane.
Okay.
It's a 100% composite plane, and it has interchangeable parts. Uh, it's so precisely made in molds and stuff like that that I can make new parts and plug them back in, and I'm good to go.
Okay. Because you had wanted me to laser cut some parts, right?
Yeah, but I don't remember. I mean, just such a long time ago.
I know. Just
We replace a lot of laser cut parts too. Originally, we used some root ribs on the when you mold the wing is like two shells, right? So you have I might need some help with some laser cutting because I have some foam that I want to laser cut. That's gonna make some inner ribs that I want to put inside the wing. Um, and
send me the file.
Yeah, and I also have the what I do right now. The root rib used to be laser cut out of balsa wood, but that didn't work very well because it was too fragile and would break too easily. So what we decided to machine them out of carbon fiber, 1 millimeter, and that's what we are using now for the root rib, which is pretty much bulletproof, and um, it's rock solid. I'm not sure you.
Wow.
I presented the plane several times on the forum here a while ago, and it's how can I say? I never flew anything that was as good as this thing, and by a long shot. And I flew SV11s, SV12s, and stuff like that before that. So
Yeah, because when you sent me the stuff early on, I thought it was beautiful.
mhm,
Oh, I would have loved to have get that.
mhm. Oh yes, you said you want to kit the plane and you want to make it like a balsa wood and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
that was a
yeah, the
while
plane
back.
just flies unbelievable. It's a very good
Yeah,
flyer.
it looks like it.
Yeah,
Well, we'll talk more one other time.
sure. Yeah.
Another time. Send
Hmm.
me what you want, laser cut, and I'll give it a whirl.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Where do you live, though?
Georgia.
Oh, you're next door to me.
There's
Yeah.
one of his wings right there.
Oh,
It's got this way. You can see the cam locks and stuff are already in it. But yes, that's one of his wings. So
wow.
And he's got the heavy panels, by the way. I think that's about, and the heavy one, it's 140 grams or
Like
something
it's
like that.
one of his friends.
How heavy is the one, Steve?
this thing just feels lighter than shit. I don't know. I can go weigh it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna weigh it real quick.
yeah. We make the wing panels, a wing panel that's I'm talking about wing that's semi-finished is ready to be basically painted if you want to. If you don't, you can leave it like that, and it's about 135 grams a panel. That's wing, reinforcement, flaps, hinge line, hinges, and in some cases the lead out guides installed inside of it already. So
Wow.
yeah, the
That's
the whole the whole plane, nose of the fuselage, the rear section of the fuselage, and the wings and the elevator are about 21 ounces, 21 and a half ounces for the whole plane.
Wow.
And then we add, obviously some hardware in there.
Okay. Well, I liked it. I liked it when I saw it way back when.
Hmm. I remember now. Yes, I remember now.
Yeah, I still like it.
Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, guys, I am still working, so I'm gonna sign off. I'll see you next time.
Hey, Tom, thanks for the advice and
See you next
good
time,
night.
Tom.
Okay.
Have a
Yeah,
good one.
Tom.
Good night.
Have a
Tom.
good evening, Tom. Take
Take
care.
care. I'm on that McMaster car.
You know what I wanted to do? I really wanted to do I really wanted to do a laser cut like a 40 size plane, and I already made some drawings for it and stuff like that. But I don't know what the hell did I do with them, and I did them in Mastercam. So then I transferred the file as an IJust file. Now I'm trying to open it in SolidWorks, and it's such a mess right now that I'm better off just probably starting from scratch in
my God.
in SolidWorks, because it's one of those things. Well, it was a nice 40 size plane, geodesic wing construction, elliptical platform, with some refinements. It looked like a very Spitfire-ish, but it was not a Spitfire, by the way.
Weighs 132 grams.
That panel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. And yeah, those are the weights. If we want to put some paint on it, we're probably going to be in 140, 145, if that.
Well, that's with the hardware. That's ready to mount on an airplane. So
Is that coming out at a little over 5 ounces?
4.5, actually.
Yeah, 4.6 that rounds up to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's with the flap.
With the flaps and that's with the flaps and all the metal locking deals and everything in it.
I cannot hear you.
Can't hear you, Walter.
How much does that cost?
What?
How much
How much does that cost?
The cost.
Well, it's like it costs quite a bit of money, for making the molds, making the parts and stuff like that. So, I mean, you're looking at probably a $2,000 plane easy. It's all compo. Yeah, it's in a league of the Shark, if not better. I think it's better than a Shark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's out of my customers' price ranges.
Yeah. But no, it's all composites. It's all hollow molded. It's like a glider technology over there.
Right.
Have you ever seen how people mold parts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just like,
well,
yeah. The fuselage, I have a section on the front that's about 56 grams. I'll show it to you.
I was gonna say I could walk and go get it too. I got one.
You said 140 something grams, 130 grams of what, both panels?
That was that one panel.
132 grams for one panel.
One
that's 4.5 ounces a pound.
So yeah, let me see if I can put it on a big screen. You guys see me now? Okay.
Yeah,
so
I see
this is a nose section. Okay. And the motor just bolts in here directly.
Oh wow.
This is the back side. It's all hollow molded. This thing weighs about 56 grams. It's about, this is 10 inches
ounces.
long. Yeah.
It's about 2 ounces.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm not sure.
Steve, what's the wingspan on that? On that, the two panels together then? What's the wingspan for it?
The plane wingspan is about 62, I think. 62 or 64.
It's 700 and some square inches.
710.
Okay.
710.
Yeah.
It's a big wing for that weight.
So this is the fuselage, for example. It's all made in a mold and
That's
stuff like
beautiful.
that. And this is
Okay,
the
dumb question. How do you get the nice checkerboards on there in the molding?
this is called Textrim. It's a special material. It's called Textrim.
Yeah.
He hires little fairies to come in at night, and they do all that work when he's sleeping.
Yeah, this is called Textrim. It's a material. It's called spread toe carbon, where they do the good flat layers of. If you cut the paper every 1 inch and you weave that paper into a fabric, only it's
Right.
not paper, is the carbon fiber toe that's flattened out and stretched out in one direction.
Okay, so now when you made that in the mold, you had to apply that first.
Yes.
And okay, now when you go to paint the airplane, you sand the paint and body and everything. Does it come off?
No, you do it in a mold.
Okay.
You do it in a mold. I mean, it's if you want to have paint in a mold, you can do the paint inside the mold prior to doing anything. So when you pull the part out, it's already painted.
Right. It's like a fiberglass boat, only
Yeah.
carbon fiber. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
And
It's a lot of work. I went down there for 1 day. We went over there for 1 day in Chicago, on the other side of Chicago, and we did some wings and stuff. And I mean, you gotta polish and the molds and everything like that. It's pretty cool how they do it. Lay it all up and.
You see my bell crank here?
I was trying to look at that.
Yeah, that's a nice piece of work there. That's impressive.
Now, do you make those bell cranks?
Yep. I make every
And do
single
you
piece in this
sell
thing.
those bell cranks? Huh?
No, I don't have anything extra right now, but this is
No,
an
I was just
exponential.
asking, do you sell bell cranks and stuff like that?
No, I don't.
Take apart systems?
I could do the take apart system, yes. And the take apart system, the way it works is, do you see the pins here?
Yeah.
It's like an IKEA furniture. Then the wing plugs in and you have a turn and locks it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
I like
I think
IKEA.
we timed you one night. You did it in under a minute, I think. I don't remember now. But you took it apart and put it back together.
Yeah, I have a video of that, yes. Yeah. If you want to watch it, I can put you a link and you can watch it whenever you want to. If you want to watch it, obviously, it's fine.
That would be nice. That would be very nice. I don't get out here very often.
Oh yeah, I get it. I'm just gonna put a link here. Well, I can share the video here directly if you want to. Copy. So you want to see it or what? You guys want to see it?
I
Boy.
would see it. I don't know about the other guys. I
They
don't know
already
if I'm going to be able to see it on my phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the link here. So just watch it whenever you want to.
Thank you.
Yeah, that way it'd be better if you can watch it on a bigger screen than the phone too.
Yeah, here I'll put the link over here if you want to grab it and watch later on whenever. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I'm gonna copy it too.
Yeah. Well, it took me about 2 minutes and 40 seconds roughly to go from parts to complete plane, and I'm talking 2 elevators, 2 wings, landing gear, tail, nose, battery, connection to the battery, with a mistake because I have to reconnect it again after that, and 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 get it to the point like I'm ready to fly.
Wow.
So it's just you can watch it at your own time. It's just this plane is ridiculous. Let's put it like that. Yeah, it's really ridiculous. It's ridiculous in the air, ridiculous kind of everywhere. And if you want, I can give you some links to some flights that I had on it, so you can see like how it's. I had Fitzgerald and Barry flying it, and they both were overturning the plane. The plane was turning
Who?
faster than I could keep up with it.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So that's. All right. So that's yeah.
I'm waiting for it to come to my computer.
So okay, cool.
Cheyenne, how thick is that wing?
Airfoil on Revolutions is 2 inches and 1/8 at the root.
Okay.
At the tip is 1 inch and 3/8 maybe, if not less. It's a pretty thin airfoil. But you know, you guys already know this stuff, so yeah. Walter doesn't know it, but the plane it's yeah, has a completely different philosophy from the typical plane that has been built before that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
it's almost unfair.
I knew it before.
So yeah, the plane flies. It stays nice and tight on the lines. I can make a square 8 in 20 degrees worth of elevation, if not less than that.
Wow.
And it's a square. You see
Wow.
the flats in it, right? It's not a wishy-washy, right? I flew it at the Nats in heavy wind, and it's a joy to fly in heavy wind. It's not pulling you at all. It's very, very docile. Because it has thin airfoil, like I said, it has a different philosophy. It employs a much thinner airfoil that we are used to, and
right.
It penetrates. It cuts through the wind, right? So when you do the 4-leaf clover, for example, the first loop, that seems to be a little bit more difficult because you're flying with the wind behind you, so you kind of lose speed, and trying to climb into the first loop is a little bit more tricky, right? But I have no issues with that at all. So
Do you have a photograph of the finished model?
Yeah.
Without actually pulling the model over.
No, I don't have one handy over here.
No, that's
But
fine.
there's an electric stunt in Stunthangar. If you look in there's a whole.
Let me see if I can find one from the Nats, Cheyenne.
What? What do you find?
I might have one from the Nats. Let me see if I can find it. I might find it for you. You guys keep talking. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah. Yeah. So my biggest problem with this plane is like I cannot keep up with it. I mean, it can do a lot more than I can. So
okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you do a triangle with it, you turn it hard, and you can wail on it as hard as you want to. It will not stall. Will not do any of that. You just turn and go, and you see the long flat before you get to the next quarter. I mean, it's not like a loop, a little flat, a loop, a little flat. You turn and then you just climb to it. Just keep going.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, I fell in love with the plane the first time I saw the file picture. When you had sent it to me a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So
Well, it's
But
getting
yeah, it has.
late.
If you look at the bell crank here, this is when I take the uh, the lines off. This is what I do. I just open it up. You see that? I put my lines on, and this snaps back in place.
And that's good enough?
Yeah, that's all you need. It's all you need.
Wow.
It has a little spring load and a little ball in there that kind of have is like a snap and stops in position. So
And
it
is
doesn't.
that metal also? Is
Yes.
it metal or nylon?
Yes. It's it's a Delrin part, which is a very high durability plastic. It's made for bearing stuff, and it has like a spring that pushes it down flat, right? And the screw is just it has a little bit of slop in there, but it cannot do this, right? It can only do that, and it locks in place when it stops at one end or the other. So that's how this is made. I haven't had any issues with it anyway. So, and it's so user friendly when you take it apart and put it back together. That what I did in this, the battery compartment is right here, and the battery actually just slides from here. So when I change batteries, I release the two locks that are here sideways. I slide the nose forward, just remove my battery, put another one in, put the nose back in, lock it and lock it. It's just half a turn, and that's it. I changed the batteries on this plane in
wow,
I don't know. I put the whole plane together and the battery in 2 minutes and 36 seconds. But if I just want to change the batteries, I mean, just like.
You still awake, Dennis?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Because you got your picture shut off, so we could have been napping and we didn't know it.
Yeah.
Still here.
Steve wants to show.
I'm gonna have to go, guys. I'm gonna have to go.
All right. Good night.
Because my phone is about to shut off. I'm down to like what is it, 6? I got 6 power left. So before I actually get disconnected, I'm gonna say goodnight, guys. It's been a pleasure.
All right.
Thank you,
I'll try
Walter.
to get on again soon.
Yeah, good night.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
thanks, Walter.
All right.
Have
Good
a
night.
good night.
All right. Take care. Good night.
Good night,
Good night,
Walter.
Walter.
Night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Steve, show us your plane.
What?
Show us
What
your
one?
plane, Steve.
What plane?
I think it was
Steven.
Steve McBride, I think.
Steven has a cool
he's
plane there.
frozen. He hasn't moved in like 15 minutes.
Ah, okay.
Oh, he's got he's grayed out on his little signal meter.
Ah, okay. Sorry. So, yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah, shit. I had my April 1st joke all ready to go for tonight once we hit past midnight until I figured out April 1st until Wednesday.
Wednesday night.
Yeah, so much for April 1st there, bud.
Yeah, no April Fool's joke tonight. I'm like, shit. I worked hard on that.
Well, you can do it anyway.
I was just going to tell everybody that I just got a thing on my phone that they canceled the Nats. So
there's more truth to that.
That'd be funny as a heart attack.
Yeah.
You want to make people cry?
Yeah.
Let's see what you got.
Right. What are you holding? What you got your finger glued to, Mike?
Oh, nothing. I'm just using some 5-minute on this stab here for this. So not only did I do the 3 thermic 20s, I got a thermic dart. This one was real simple, so I'm just 5-minute this one together.
That was my favorite. The dart didn't require any carving or anything like that. That was my favorite.
You gonna go flying them tomorrow?
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna get the wings on the Thermic 20s tonight.
Okay.
Well, there was
Oh,
Dennis,
Steven,
there
you're
was no
back. You're back.
carving with the Thermic 20 because it had a shaped airfoil. It was our pre-shaped airfoil in the Thermic 20, which what I loved about them so much. You just had to make sure when you traced them, you cut them the right way. I did that to a kid. That skinned me, man. Came home with a Thermic 20 from Joe's Hobby Shop, and he's like, "You want help?" I'm like, "No, I know what I'm doing, Dad." And you know what I did? I traced the damn wing outline backwards on the airfoil, on the shaped airfoil, and ruined both of them. So then he's out there with some quarter. He gets some quarter-inch balsa out, traces the wings out, and he's out there planing 2 wings to get a shaped airfoil for him. You learn.
Famous last words. I know what I'm doing, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it, Dad.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
4 or 5 sheets of shaped airfoil that I bought from SIG. It's been several years ago now. I was going to make about 3 Stuntman 23s, and I never got them. I got the whole box of wood for the Stuntman 23s, but I had never put it together.
I'm not sure if I actually made this Stuntman 23. I remember I admired it as a kid, but I don't know if I actually built one or not.
I loved mine, but it was just a flat slab wing. However, I bought enough wood from SIG to glue to laminate it back to back and have a full 1/2 inch thick at the high point airfoil, and instead of just a flat bottom with a airfoil top, I was gonna laminate them back to back.
Yeah, when we first got into this, I think is it a SIG Buster that has the airfoil shaped slab wing?
Yeah, that does.
Yeah, the Goodyear racer.
Hey, Dennis.
Yeah.
You remember the Dart had the printed colored wing?
Yep. That's what I mean, man. Sunburst. It's like 16 sheets.
Yeah, so I decided to try that. It's a water-based stuff that people use. I can't. It's like a water-based clear coat. I can't think of what they call polyacrylic.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, Minwax polyacrylic.
So me and some we built the wing, and we got some silk span, and boy, we're putting on that with a polyacrylic. Man, that worked really nice. Come back the next day, the son of a bitch looked like a potato chip.
Yeah,
it worked. It worked that wing and that son of, and I was like, God damn. And we never did get another wing. Try to call SIG and to get a wing, and it's like, no, forget it. But yeah, so that was my last try with polyacrylic. I'm like, that wood doesn't work good. At least balsa wood.
Yeah.
I usually, when I did my Yak 9 fuselage, I painted one side of it and weighted it down. And then the next day, I flipped it over and painted the other side and weighted it down. And it pulled itself straight when both sides were dry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this, I mean, it warped it so bad, but the whole thing is that I wanted to keep Samantha away from the dope. So I'm thinking, we'll use water-based stuff. Well, that ruined that kit. So, like, we just got to use dope in well-ventilated areas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've used polyacrylic for sanding filler too, just kind of like a primer, and works okay. But again, you can warp it if you're not careful.
Oh, wait a minute. When you use it like that, when you put it right on the bare wood, doesn't the balsa turn into
you fade it out at the end there, Dennis.
Yeah, you fade it out.
Doesn't the balsa surface, it fills up with the water and stuff like that, and it turns really rough. It's like almost like a popcorn kind of surface or something. Doesn't that happen? It's polyacrylic on bare balsa.
Dennis, you faded out so fast after you said bare balsa, and that was the last words I heard.
All right. Well, I'm all plugged in and everything. I don't know what other
Much
problems
better.
I had.
And
Yeah,
now I can hear you fine. Try one more
I just
time.
never
can hear
had
you
any
good.
luck putting water base on bare balsa.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
The
It didn't
water
work good.
the water destroys the surface of the balsa.
Yeah.
Hey
Well, you
guys,
can
Now
put
I am
can we go to
hairspray on
bed?
it
It's 1
first.
o'clock almost.
I mixed it with baby powder and painted the fuselage, one side of the fuselage of the Yak 9, and it did pretty good.
Right.
Flipped it over and did the other side.
Yeah, it
Who
was.
are we waving at?
I found out later is that, you know, if you put dope on the wood first and all that, then you can go over it with the polyacrylic and it's fine. But
Yeah.
if I'm going to do that, you got 3 coats of regular dope on it anyway. You might as well just keep using dope.
Yeah, you can put baby powder or whatever in your dope too, or there's more stuff made for it, micro balloons or whatever you want to use for filler too. Cornstarch, hell, you can put any kind of stuff in it.
I'll be glad when it warms up here and I can do some more doping in the basement. I did some more today, but man, about runs me out of the room. It gets so strong, but as soon as I can open up a window and put a fan in the other side and suck air through there, it's not bad at all. But 40 some degrees, it just makes it too cold there in that basement to have a fan running.
Well, you got to see a high quality airplane, and this here's this is a foam board, Dollar Tree foam board plane.
That's
No
pretty
kidding.
cool.
Looks pretty good though, Gary.
Yeah.
Damn, that looks really good.
Did it on
Hey,
a
those
computer.
look like the header.
Yeah,
Those
I
look
did it
like
on
the
the
header
computer,
Howard Rush made for me.
and then run it off on the board before I cut it out.
So is that RC or control line?
Yeah, this is RC. Yeah,
Pretty cool.
That's nice.
can't get it.
I always, a bunch of guys there at the club, they do the foam board and they fly really well and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought about trying to make a control line like that once, but I never have.
I think so.
That's what I made my kitty cat plane out of. That's really neat.
Yeah.
It's got a zipper on the bottom there.
I like the zipper.
Well, that makes it easy to adjust the push rod and stuff.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, on zipper.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just thought I'd show you.
That's
Yeah,
great.
that's really
That's cool.
Yeah.
Who's the pilot? Is that anybody in particular?
Oh, my son's flown it a couple times.
No,
Flies
No,
pretty
I
good.
mean the pilot in the cockpit.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
In the cockpit.
Some lady or no man, I guess it is. Yeah.
A girly man.
Hey Gary, thank you very much for the calendar.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're gonna be changing it here shortly, aren't you?
Oh yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
Charles,
this is
tomorrow's your last day. It's
I know,
been
I thought I'd
Charles.
show out a little bit.
Yeah, it's been
All
Zoe
month.
life all month. Let's see who we got.
Yeah.
And see who we got tomorrow. Well, day after tomorrow. Sort of tomorrow. It's hard
We
to
got
tell
Bob
at this time.
Hey, Gary, how did you get all the colors? Is
I
that
mean, Bob,
printed on there, or did you
Yeah.
do that with a printer or something?
Yeah, I did it with a printer. Where I worked, they had a printer at that time, so I was able to print on the board.
Oh, okay. Because I'm thinking, man, did he do that somehow with a inkjet at home?
No, it's inkjet at work. Big flatbed. You can put on the 48, 48 or a 4x8 piece of plywood or
Wow.
doors
gotta
or
put
whatever
it
you want
up.
to put it on.
I got to put it up high
I wish-
where my puppy can't get to it because she ate Tom.
I wish I could see it. I got no picture of Gary for some reason.
Don't you? Yeah, you should see that. That is really cool, Mike. That'd be something for.
All right, got you now. Can you hold it up again?
So if I get
Move it to your. Yeah, that.
That's all foam board.
Yeah, Dollar Tree foam board.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
What the fuck is going on there?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I wish there was an easy way to do it at home. I'd build one of them in RC.
Oh, I didn't notice the zipper on the side before. It's got a
Yeah.
zipper on the bottom, showing the bottom of it too. It's got a big long zipper underneath.
You see it?
Oh wow.
That is just wild as hell. I didn't know. I've never seen a foam board airplane that nice.
There's
No, me either.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's really something.
yeah.
Have you guys
Oh, it's
ever
got
seen?
zippers everywhere.
Have
It's got
you
a
ever
zipper on the. Go ahead.
Yeah. yeah, I got a zipper on there too, don't I? Yeah.
Have you seen the guy that builds RC models out of cardboard? And I mean like 60 sized warbirds, and he builds them completely out of cardboard.
Yeah.
If you YouTube it, you can see he makes some pretty amazing looking models for making them out of cardboard boxes.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on YouTube. You can find him on there. And I'm not talking about the flight test guys. This guy does like scale warbirds, and you can't tell the difference from like a top flight kit, Steve. You really can't. They look that good.
Hey Gary, how did you get the rounded turtle deck on it?
It's on kind of a cardboard like, and then it's just taped on there and glued around.
Okay, because all the foam board airplanes I see, they're all square, except the wing are like that, but they don't have turtle decks, and it's like that's just hard to believe that's made out of foam board.
Yeah,
Well,
this is not on this one.
Oh.
But they're using it anymore because
question
they're peeling off the paper, and just so that the foam will bend,
Oh, okay.
and then fold around on some of them.
The question is, how many of those do you have to build before you got one that came out looking that nice?
This is the first one.
Oh,
I mean, the first one like this.
Mine would look like a kindergartner's project, man.
Hell yeah.
They put it together with a glue stick and staples. That looks really nice, Gary.
It's fun. So it's fun to build. I got several of them. I mean, not this one, but I got the storks. I built that.
Wow.
Built
So,
Yeah, one day you're going to try to do one for control line and see how it works.
yeah, I think that's what I'm looking at this, and I said, I bet you could.
Yeah.
Because electrics, you guys are flying electric now, so.
Yeah, just have to be careful how you anchor your bell crank through the middle.
Yeah, you have to.
That's where it all hinges, so to speak.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh. Hey, Charles, you get that crutch done yet?
Yeah, the crutch has been done. I just haven't got too much past putting the bulkheads in. I don't have the top and bottom blocks made. That's my next step.
Oh, okay. Well,
You got plenty of time, Phil.
Yeah.
I know.
You got plenty of time.
All these
Like, you don't
contests.
have time.
Yeah, I
The
know.
government,
yeah,
says it's building season.
Yes.
He has a
It's
lot
shame
of
it's
really
beautiful
nice
weather, but I heard that.
He has a lot of really nice kits if you never build them.
I will. You know what? I'm going to transition to becoming a builder, Steve. I tell you, I definitely determined to do that.
They did a government shutdown, but they didn't shut down the UCCA.
That's right.
The problem
So,
is, the true problem is with Charles. He lives in San Diego, and it's summertime there all the time. If he'd moved north to where he actually had winter and couldn't do shit, he'd build. But how he can fly every day?
Right. That is exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We got bored. And the last time I showed you guys this airplane, we got bored, and the plane was sitting there, and I was in no rush to go there. But again, the fact we had to sit down and you couldn't move anywhere, we started putting it in the finishing stages. So we did the full assembly. Then we got bored, was sitting looking at it. Then we said, let's start doing the finish on it. So I started drawing up the finish, and there's nothing else you can do. So the things are done a lot quicker. You got a lot of time on your hands now.
I thought you had a girlfriend. How do you get all this time on your hands?
Oh, forget that. Forget her. There's the thing. There's the thing. There's girlfriend and there's airplanes. Girlfriend, airplanes. So airplanes win.
I figured you'd be quarantined up with her by now.
Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah,
no
good
way.
for you, Steve. Good for you, man.
If they like the airplanes and they want to give up, yeah, fine. If they don't, if they get in between the airplanes, see you later. Down the road, somebody else coming the road.
Exactly.
They don't get in. They
Sounds
don't
like
get
an episode of our game. Sounds like an episode of our game comedy. The Woman Haters Club.
No, that's true. I talked to so many people, and they said before they got married, they said they told their wife, "This is what I do, so forth. If you want to be with me, this is a part of my life. If you like it, you get to walk down the aisle. If not, turn around and go back."
Well, that's like I tell everybody. I told Samantha, if you really want to know what social distancing is, get married.
I don't put those negative thoughts in her head, Steve.
That would explain
I'm
something.
What's that?
I'm on my second week of working from home, and everything is just nice as pie here, man. I like having my wife home. She's hooking up a storm in there for me when she's not working. So
Yeah, but Mike, she makes you live in the garage.
that's okay.
I think he liked that.
Okay.
It's better than the
That's social
doghouse.
distancing. I get the garage, you get the rest of the house.
Oh my God.
Just to poke at her.
Stephen Bride, I missed the part about your plane. Is that your own design?
It's my design. Yeah, this is my design.
Very nice.
Yeah, I call it
Wow.
external.
Impressive.
It's after my company. It's got a 2 1/8 inch wing core, 56.5 inch in length, 46 3/4 on the fuselage. Made my own stab and rudder for it. Wing gear. This is a Bob Hunt Lost Foam setup.
Cool.
Nice.
Total weight. Total weight when it is done, total weight will come out about 53, 54 ounces.
Nice. So what engine you gonna put in there?
That's with a Super Tiger 51. And it's
very
come
nice.
out that's Super Tiger's a little heavier than I wanted to put in. It's a good power motor. It's a little heavier than I wanted to. And with that, I'm still coming out at about 53, 54 ounces. All said and done. If I went to a lighter motor, I could be under 50 ounces. I could be about 50 ounces or just under it. But
too bad you don't have I'll think of it. My mind's gone again. Come on, Steve. That shit I can't think.
if I put my Stalker motor, I have a Stalker.
Yeah,
46.
Stalker 51. That's it. You put a Stalker 51 in there.
Yeah, I'll save 3 ounces. I'll save automatically. I'll save about 3.5 ounces.
And there's nothing that runs better than a Stalker 51. I swear to God.
I have. Well, the Stalker 46. I got both my Patriots running on Stalker 46s. I love them. I think they're great. The only thing is, I don't have an extra $350 to spare on it right now, and I got this motor new sitting in the box. So I built this plane for that motor. So they got it new sitting in the box. It was a brand new Tiger 51, and I figured let me build a plane for that. So
Well,
that's what that was. But there's a
your
different
girlfriend
program.
to the curb, you'd have the kind of money to buy another engine.
Yeah.
Y'all get those stalkers from Tom Dixon.
I get the Stalkers from Tom Dixon. Right. I got two Stalker 46s from Tom Dixon. and they've been both of my Patriots. They run excellent. They run great. That's an 8.5 ounce. That's an 8.3 ounce motor.
I just talked to Tom today because I saw he's doing free shipping on all his kits. So I ordered another Vector 40
good.
profile quick build. I figure if I'm going to build one, I'll build two. I'll build one for myself, and then Sam can help me with the other one. Just because I got a pair of the Brian Gardner LA 46 setups, and I thought
That'll
that'd
work
be
good on it.
for.
Yeah, very nice.
So
That's a really good flying airplane. I mean, that's what Pat flew last year at the Nats guy here, and I mean, he just needs to
Dick's
fly
brother.
more contests. He just gets nervous and forgets maneuvers and stuff like that. But
I even made my at the tail. I made my weight tip box at the tail here, so I made a so I can actually add more tail weight to it, and I have it sit on the airplane.
Can I see it, Tom?
You know, once you put the,
What's that?
Put a little bit closer, Steve.
McBride, you know, once you build all those adjustable features in there, you'll never use them. You won't have to.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
majority of the time I don't, but it's there in case I have to, and
Right.
I'd rather have that feature there that I can add the weight into it than stick the weight to the outside of the fuselage or tie it to the tail.
No,
Yeah.
I understand. It's just that it's worked out for me and probably for many other people. We put all that adjustability in there, and then we never have to use it.
Nope.
Everything works out the way it's supposed to without it.
yeah, exactly.
Now, if I didn't have it there, then I'd have to have it.
What I'm looking to do is balance this one out, get it on the CG right, and have it so that it's balanced right for the CG and have it fly right. I'm going to experiment more with that tail weight on its turn to get it more sensitive, to make it turn a little bit harder and be more sensitive.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to keep experimenting and adjusting with this airplane.
So, Steve, your tail weight box does it take
What's that?
Steve, does
Who said that?
weight box take a quarter ounce, or it takes less smaller pieces than that?
Quarter.
I mean, the weights, are they
For the
quarter
wingtip
ounce squares?
Yeah, quarter ounce squares, and the wingtip tail is smaller. Quarter ounce. I put them inside. I can put quarter ounce in there if I put them in sideways. In the tail.
Okay.
With their quarter ounce weights.
You put them in
Okay.
sideways.
Quarter
The
ounce
airplane would be all real bad if you did that, man.
No. You're missing my point here. Wingtip box is a quarter inch
Yeah,
squares
sure.
that go flat in the wingtip box. They go in flat. I'm talking about the spacing I need for in the tail to add tail weight. In the tail weight box.
I can't see it.
And it's
Yeah,
very
Laura.
thin here. Camera up closer to it. There we go.
It was a joke, man. I didn't mean it seriously. I said it would yaw real bad if you put them in sideways. Get it?
That's all right. No. I want you to ask whatever you want. That's all. You can see that there. You can see how I made the box at the tail.
Okay, I see
to
it.
add the tail weight.
Kind of like a triangular shape.
And I can add small pieces and just add them by grams, add them by quarter ounce and add them by grams as well to just make it more sensitive.
Yeah.
Okay.
And adjusting with that. I did several dimensions from different airplanes, and that's why I came up with this design and started building with it. Didn't take long to build this at all. Not even 2 months I'm into really the building of this airplane.
Very nice. I like
Man, I'm
the
having
now
fun
I
with
got
that, guys.
The thing is, now I got to wait for it to really. I just sprayed it this weekend. Now I got to really wait for it to dry before I can start touching it and start to smooth it out and finish it out. So to rub it out, buff it out. Then I got to put the clear on it and rub that all out. I got another good month, over a month's worth of work on it. It takes
John,
longer
will you
to
see?
finish.
Guys, I gotta go.
Okay, man. Thanks
All right,
for
John.
hanging with
Take it
us.
easy, John.
All right. Good night.
It
Y'all
takes
take
longer to
care.
finish it when
Good night.
it actually
Yeah, John.
take
All right, we'll do.
Boy,
Yeah, it takes
we had
longer
a
to
big
finish the
crowd of
airplane
video
almost.
customers
Actually
tonight.
build it. It's harder to do that.
We had about 12 video customers tonight. We don't usually get that many.
Yeah, we're all sequestered.
Good night.
That's good. The highlight of the week, man.
Everybody else anywhere else to go. Nothing else to do.
Yeah,
Looking
that's
good,
true.
Steve. Looking very good.
Yeah, I'm pleased with this one. Everything's coming out to target weight and even below target weight. So this will be a nice one. If I get it trimmed out right, this is gonna be another winner.
So where do you get your wood, or where do you find your wood at?
I get it through Elliot. I get it through Elliot Scott, and I also get a majority of my wood through from him, and I ordered it, and now I'm also getting it through Stunthangar. You can get it through Stunthangar from
Not anymore. Can you?
not anymore.
Not anymore.
I did get some of the parts I put on this the quarter-inch and stuff I got through from Stunthangar, which was sent through with Tom Morris.
Yeah, I got some wood from Scott Elliott. I think he's done though. He's not selling wood anymore.
Majority of the wood I got from Elliot Scott. I bought a lot of wood from him the last time I met out with him out at Golden State. I bought quite a few boxes of wood from him, and I keep it and I kept it stocked, and I keep that specifically for my building purposes. But this was 100% complete my design scratch build. There was no plans to this.
That's cool.
Very nice.
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna get off. It's after 1, and I'm supposed to get up early in the morning.
I'm gonna bail out on you too. So
yeah, it's almost time for my midnight snack.
Yeah,
almost time for my midnight snack.
Well, tomorrow is old fogey shopping time from 7 to 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna hit the grocery store tomorrow.
I don't think I'm gonna be up at that time.
Anyone over 60 has an hour to shop before young people can come in.
Yeah,
it takes me an hour to get out of bed after I wake up.
All right, guys. We'll see you Friday.
Y'all take it easy, man. Yeah. Y'all have a great week.
Okay. Yeah.
You too.
Good night.
Okay. It's calibrated like a 51, 56 size airplane. Is where the size of this airplane sits, and I keep saying, and I'm comfortable with those type of airplanes and flying those. I keep always saying I can't build them lighter, but I am finding ways to constantly get them to come out lighter. I'm impressed. My last one I built at this size, I came out at 59 ounces, and now it's going to be at 53 ounces, 54. I'm finding a way to cheat corners, I guess, or find ways of saving weight.
I'm going to say good night to the YouTubers, all you guys out there. Thanks for hanging with us. And I'm going to go ahead and close out the live stream. Oops, let's see if it'll cooperate. Okay, stopping the live stream, but you guys can continue on if you want to.
Rusty, before you close it out, I wanted to say, I know even though with the way the world's running and a lot of events are canceling, I wanted to make an announcement that the Las Vegas Stunt Challenge is still in effect, that it will be held still November 6th, 7th, and 8th. So everybody keep that on your calendar and schedules that there will be that contest in November. We are not one of the events that have to cancel yet at this time, and we are scheduled to still full run. We have our sanction and everything in place.
Okay, I hope we got that under the wire. I had already started clicking out, but we actually mentioned that early in the show too. Somebody else before you came said that it was still on. I don't remember who that was.
The Las Vegas Stunt Challenge is still on.
All right. So anyway, good night, everybody. Y'all take care, and we'll see you Friday.